freedom, man. That's what it's all about. You've got to groove on freedom like the good book says.
Welcome. You are listening to What on Earth is Happening. This show will discuss the topics of human consciousness, mind control, natural law, the occult, and all issues that affect the freedom of the people of Earth. What on Earth is Happening will endeavor to shine light upon the darkness of our world and to offer empowering solutions to the problems we face as humanity approaches its critical moment of choice. And now, here is your host, Mark Passio.
Welcome one and all, you're watching What on Earth is Happening. I'm your host, Mark Passio. My website, whatonearthishappening.com. Ladies and gentlemen, government is slavery. And here on What on Earth is Happening, we are ending slavery one mind at a time. Thank you for tuning in this week, ladies and gentlemen. This is episode number 236 of What on Earth is Happening. Today is Sunday, August 23rd, 2020. We have a great show lined up for you here today. We're going to be continuing our ongoing questions and clarification series. This is questions and clarifications and call-ins, show number 5, part 5, in a continuing series of asking me anything that you want to know or anything that you need clarification on regarding anything that I have covered as part of the What on Earth is Happening broadcast series thus far. So, let's switch over to my slide presentation. I have a couple of housekeeping duties to take care of. Thank you. There's the artwork for today's show. As always, What on Earth is Happening is a cumulative broadcast. That means that if you're new to this broadcast, if you are a new viewer or listener, you should not start here. You should go back to my podcast page on my website, whatonearthishappening.com. Click the podcast tab, and you should click the red link that says start with podcast number 1, and you should listen to the show in order from episode number 1 at your own pace. If you start with this broadcast, you're pretty much not really getting all of the necessary prerequisite information that is covered in earlier episodes. So please, if you're a new viewer, go back to podcast number 1 and start in order. You will get the maximum value that way, and it will really establish a full understanding with all kinds of ancillary information to back up what I am saying in these broadcasts. So, I'm very happy to announce as my first housekeeping duty today that Ark 2.0 is finished and ready. So the Ark is called the Amazing Repository of Knowledge. It is a offer of information that I make available and have made available for many years here as part of What on Earth is Happening. The Ark is a drive, whether it be a hard drive or a solid state drive, that consists of the bulk of my best research material and data that I have downloaded from the internet since I started looking into these matters. So it is my own personal archive of research. Hence, it's called the Ark, and Ark stands for Amazing Repository of Knowledge. The first Ark drive was a 1 terabyte drive offer, 1 terabyte of information. This new Ark drive replaces the old Ark drive offer. So I am no longer offering the 1 terabyte Ark. I have updated the instructions on how to go about making a request for the Ark on the Ark tab of my website. I'm going to be showing you that in a moment. But this is the ad that my graphics people made for Ark 2.0. This is the new Ark offer. Ark 2.0, the amazing repository of knowledge. Get the whole picture. So in other words, don't just get a partial picture of what's going on in the world. Get the entirety of the picture. This is such a problem in the whole so-called truth community, the so-called freedom community. You have half-assers out there. You have halfway people and halfway understanding, and that's not going to get the job done. You need to go all the way in your understanding, all the way in your knowledge. You can't half-ass it. Okay? So the Ark 2.0 drive consists of over 26,000 audio files, over 9,500 digital books in PDF and EPUB format, and over 3,400 video files. This is all from my own personal archive of research and data gathered into a huge digital library and copied onto the 2 terabyte drive that you provide. And again, that drive can be a hard drive or it can be a solid state drive depending on what you purchase and send to me for the copy. You can get more information on Ark 2.0 at whatonearthishappening.com/Ark. So I'm going to go to my web browser right now. I want to show you the Ark page on whatonearthishappening.com. So here's my website. This is the home page. If you click the Ark tab, or if you click this, the Ark tab is right here. I'm circling it. I'm highlighting it. Okay. This is it right here, right in between podcast and bio. That's the Ark tab. Okay. Also, if you scroll down to this little button graphic here on the side menu, it says get the Ark. Get the whole picture. You can click that as well. All right, I'll click the Ark tab. That's going to take you to a description of what the Ark is. So it says, you ship me a 2 terabyte hard drive, I'll fill it with information and ship it back to you. It's that easy. It really is that easy, folks. There are some instructions because I want you to follow my shipping method. And I'm pretty meticulous about the shipping. It still is quite simple, okay? You just have to take your time, pay attention, and read the instructions. You can get the instructions by filling this form out on the What on Earth is Happening /Ark page, okay? And then hit Request Ark Shipping Instructions. That will then take you to a page where you can download a PDF with the new shipping instructions, okay? So that's the Ark Drive offer. Ark 2.0, folks, if you thought Ark 1 was an amazing repository of knowledge, wait until you see Ark 2.0. I mean, it blows my mind, and that's kind of hard to do in today's day and age. But this drive is amazing in what is on it. I think, you know, to myself, when compiling this information onto a hard drive, the unbelievable amount of data that exists in the world to corroborate and support the information that we have been disseminating on What on Earth is Happening for the past 14 years. Going on 14 years. 13 years going on 14. Okay? And it's just unbelievable to me that the world is still as asleep as it is. That it is still as spiritually deadened as it is. That people still buy all of the psyops that they buy into, which we'll talk a little bit about today. This information should be commonplace at this point, and not only should it be commonplace, people should be taking action on it and redistributing it and, you know, making this information commonplace knowledge all over the world by putting it out publicly. And most people just aren't do that. They're stuck in a place of inaction. Most of the viewers of this show, and I'm talking right to you, you are stuck in a place of inaction. The vast majority of you. You have not understood what on Earth is Happening has been trying to tell you since day one. Since day one on this broadcast, I've been trying to tell you it's all about what you do. It's all about action. This can help you to get to a place of knowing what's taking place a whole lot better. But ultimately, you could know everything and be completely ineffective in helping to change it. Because if you're not willing to take action, all the knowledge that you take in is meaningless. What the Ark offer is for is helping people with half-ass knowledge that is not complete in their understanding, or the information that they have is skewed. They think they know, and they know skewed data and skewed information. And what that's going to do is make them ineffective in the long term in helping people to really wake up to what real spirituality is and what natural law is. Ark 2.0 will help to get you there. Then you have to activate your will and your courage. Put it into action as wisdom of doing the right thing with what you know. And only you can do that, folks. I'm talking to most of my viewers out there, and I'm going to keep hammering that on you because most of you have done nothing. And then people want to say, oh, you're beating us up pretty bad, Mark, and how angry and nasty you've been over the last many weeks. Yeah, that's right, I have, and it's going to continue because I don't really see you guys doing much. I see you guys talking shit, talking a big game, and you're not doing hardly a damn thing because you want the world to change on its own, or you think this is some magical automated process, and it's not. This is a process that we self-direct. It's driven by our own will and by our own behavior. And if you don't take action, it doesn't happen magically on its own. That's some new age bullshit that you've been sold and you've bought. This isn't an automatic process of evolution that is directed by nature. Wrong. Incorrect. Nature wants it to go that way. The will of the Creator wants it to go that way, but it doesn't happen automatically at this point. It's directed by our will and our behavior. And if we don't take action, it's not going to happen. And that's the problem, is most people have been convinced by psyops and by religion and by new age bullshit that this is an automatic process and it's in the bag. No, it's not in the bag. Mark Passio doesn't got this. Okay? You have to join the battle. You have to join the spiritual war and take action. All right? And the Ark can help you get the knowledge that you need to get on that battlefield. So, if you're interested in the Ark Drive offer, whatonearthishappening.com/Ark. Ark 2.0, the amazing repository of knowledge, 2 terabytes of the best research data that I have ever downloaded from the internet since I've been on it. That is my offer to you, ladies and gentlemen. When you see what it is, your head will spin, your jaw will drop. You will scarcely imagine that, first of all, this much data even is out there, let alone that it's out there for you to take in offline. You don't need an internet connection. It'll all be right there on any computer that you attach it to. All right, that's my offer to you if you want to take me up on it. whatonearthishappening.com/Ark, A-R-K. Next, we are still working on completing the Mark Passio and the Science of Natural Law documentary. We're on track to deliver this by the end of the year. You could donate to help complete the documentary at gifts.whatonearthishappening.com. There are 5 donation tiers. 100% of all donations go directly to production costs, namely paying a video editor right now, plus then pressing the documentary. All donors will receive a complimentary copy of the completed documentary on flash drive and DVD. That is if you make the donation at gifts.whatonearthishappening.com. If you're going to donate to this effort, do not use the donation page of What on Earth is Happening. That is just for straight donations to the What on Earth is Happening cause. For the documentary, please use gifts.whatonearthishappening.com and you will see the documentary link on Gifts. Thank you. All right. Also at Gifts, new t-shirts, flash drives, the complete Mark Passio One Great Work collection, solid state drive, and much more. We have released Worldview Violence and the Real Pandemics, which was the latest documentary on flash drive and DVD in Gifts. We have released that publicly now on YouTube and other channels. Okay, so again, I only put my latest presentation on the gifts area for a couple of months, and then we release it for free. So right now, everything I've ever done is released for free, including Worldview Violence and the Real Pandemics. We are actively working on, folks, uploading everything to LBRY for a more censorship-proof platform. And I'm going to be taking down links to YouTube. I don't even care about views and hits on YouTube, folks. Not only do I not monetize my YouTube channel, folks, I don't even care about views. I could give a shit about YouTube, okay? I think YouTube are Nazi censoring trash. And I am taking down all my YouTube links on my own website, and I'm relinking to LBRY only. Fuck YouTube. Fuck you guys. Fuck Google. You're dirty, rotten Nazi trash, and that's all you ever were. And your families are dirty, rotten Nazi trash, especially your mothers. Your mothers are trash who never taught you any morality, you scumbag fucking Nazis. How about that for not monetizing a channel? Do it whatever you're going to do. I'm saying the truth. Hardcore in your face. And if you don't like it, turn the fucking show off. That's how it's going to be from here on out. I'm not worried about views. I don't care about who stops watching. I'll get as nasty as I want to get on this broadcast because it's mine. And for all you who don't understand that that's all part of real spirituality, you're fucked up, you're soul broken, not me. Okay? I'm saying it the way it really is, no matter who it offends. Get as offended as you like, boys and girls. Okay? That goes for my longtime listenership as well as anybody who wants to try viewing it from here without watching the whole podcast series. I don't give a shit what you think of this broadcast. All right? And actually, I really never have. Okay? It's your karma, and it's going to be your funeral if you don't listen up and pay attention to what I've been saying for the last 12 fucking years. 13 fucking years. All right? So, that's how it is, and that's how it's going to be said from here on out on What on Earth is Happening. What on Earth is Happening is still proudly working in cooperation with Autonomy. We have 2 banners on the website that you can check out. Autonomy. Autonomy is the brainchild of Richard Grove of tragedyandhope.com. You can visit their website at getautonomy.info or click the banners on the whatonearthishappening.com website. How to Become the True Media webinar is going very strong. We had a very informative class last week on how to search the internet and the dark web. We're going to be continuing those topics. We're going to be talking about email setup and usage. And we'll go deeper into, some web browser technologies like web browser extensions and how to customize some of those. This is going to be class number 8 out of 23 this Tuesday, August 25th. The webinar starts at 7 p.m. to allow 1 hour for students to enter the class. Class instruction starts at 8 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Please be on time or you might miss important information that will not be repeated. Keep a notepad handy for notes and questions. We take questions periodically during the webinar. Headphones are recommended if you want to interact with the class to avoid echo or feedback. If you have any technological problems or any problems at all with the How to Become the True Media seminar, please email truemedia@whatonearthishappening.com. Thank you to all attendees. I think the webinar is going really great so far, and it's going to be picking up in really kind of complexity. It's going to be picking up in engaging with media. We are, covering now internet basics. So we're going to get a little bit into networking as well, probably the following week, and, take it from there. And then getting into creating media. So we're laying a lot of the groundwork and then going to be getting into some more sophisticated stuff as, the webinar continues. So thank you to all attendees. As I said last week, we are moving all of our content to the What on Earth is Happening LBRY channel, available at LBRY.TV/WOEIH. for acronym for What on Earth is Happening. LBRY.TV/WOEIH. Very simple URL. We are going to be continuing uploading to this channel this coming week, adding many more videos from earlier days of What on Earth is Happening. We'll be working in reverse chronological order. That's how we're going to be kind of approaching it. And, eventually all the content on What on Earth is Happening will be YouTube free. All the so-called truth movement people should take example, okay? Get off this demonic platform. Let it rot. Let it rot and push people onto LBRY, which is not censored. Okay? That's it. That's what people have to do. They have to take a proactive approach and stop caring about your view count and stop caring most of all about your bullshit monetization of taking YouTube Nazi blood money. Okay? YouTube are dirty, rotten, Nazi, lowlife scum that are pedophile protectors. You are pedophile protectors, you rotten Nazi scumbag fucking trash. That's what you are. Okay? And you want to take down people's channels and censor people who blow the whistle on the worldwide pedophile rings that are the governments of the world, that are the politicians, that are the lawmakers, that are the dark occultists that run the whole damn show. And you, YouTube, you people who work for YouTube, you are dirty, rotten, lying, scumbag, Nazi, pedophile protecting trash. And that's what you've always been, and your whore mother made you that way, boy. Your whore mother made you that way, girl. That's the truth of the matter. You have no upbringing. You weren't raised by your Nazi trash parents. Scum. And I'll tell you that right to your fucking face, because I have the balls too, and hardly anybody else does. Trash. So all the people out there in so-called freedom movement, so-called truth movement, your freedom movement and truth movement are the bottom of a trash can, is what most of you are. Because you're cowards and you don't want to lose the profit that you get from YouTube. That's what you're mostly worried about, not telling the truth, about racking up money from YouTube advertising. That's Nazi fucking blood money. Let that whole fucking platform rot into dust. Rot into the garbage trash that it is. Stop monetizing your channel. Stop taking their fucking money. Put your material up for free and put it on LBRY. No, how many will do that? No, because you'll see who really cares about profit. Like I said, I don't give a fuck who listens to this. It's still the truth nonetheless. It always has been and it always will be. I don't give a fuck who I offend. I don't care who shuts it the fuck off. I don't give a fuck about my view counts. I don't monetize my YouTube channel and never have. That's real hardcore shit. Most of you are phony fucking posers. That's what you are. Worried about monetizing your channel and taking YouTube's ad money, you fucking clowns. You know what you are? Hold on. You're not clowns. Once again, you're clown shoes. Here on What on Earth is Happening, we fully endorse Flopperoo brand clown shoes. Flopperoo brand clown shoes. Nothing's floppier. Nothing's clownier. And all the people out there in the so-called truth community, all the people out there in the so-called freedom community, this is not what you wear, this is what you are. That's the slogan. You don't just wear these, you are them. You're fucking clown shoes. Okay? That's what you are. There you go. And I should just call it an entirely different thing, folks. You know what we really need to call it? We need to call it, back to the slides, please, because I have something for everyone. Okay? We really need to call the whole, truth movement and the whole so-called freedom movement. I have a new name for you guys. Okay? Here's what the name is for you guys. It's the Bobo Universe. You guys are the Bobo Universe. Here we go. I'm getting pretty good at that, ain't I? Yep, getting good at it. Boy, I'm going to practice this slide whistle until I'm a slide whistle master. Okay? And it shouldn't take too long. Okay? Because guess what? This is the entire truth-telling movement. This is the entire so-called freedom movement. You're a bunch of bobos. Okay? And only a movement like this could have you can only have a clown for a god. There's the god of this world. Yeah, it is. It really is. This is the Bobo the Clown show. That's what it is. And again, folks, the clown ain't me, because I've been telling the truth from the beginning. The clown is all the people that refuse to accept the truth and all the people who refuse to take action based on the truth. That's what it is, folks. That's what it really is and what it really always has been. Okay? And it's a shame. It's a shame that I have to almost make a mockery of it, not to just completely go nuts on it continually. Okay? Because it really is sad, actually. It's really way more sad and depressing than it is funny. But honestly, I have to try to make a clown shoe mockery of it. Because you guys have been clown shoed, and you don't even know how clown shoed you are. Okay? That's really what it comes down to. Okay? I made a verb out of it. Okay? As of last week. You're clown shoed. Okay? And the truth movement has always been clown shoot. It's never been a truth movement. It's a my truth movement. It's never been a freedom movement. It's a my freedom movement. The whole bunch of the people who say that they're for the truth and for freedom are clown shoes. And that's why they use and depend only on YouTube. Look, I have a YouTube channel, but guess what, folks? Once this censorship comes in, if you want to continue to just rely on YouTube and depend on it, you're nuts. You're not only clown shoed, you're crazy. Okay? I'm making the move off of that platform and putting all my content elsewhere. I'll still upload to it as an ancillary platform for the imbeciles that still want to use it. But anybody going to YouTube thinking that you're going to get accurate information, you are going to get state-sponsored information. And this is the thing. What family members are telling the people who work at YouTube that you're Nazi and communist trash scum? No, they won't have that discussion. This is what I was talking about on the How to Become the True Media seminar, the hour before. Most people won't talk to their family members and tell them that they're bags of dumb, immoral shit. They won't tell them that because they don't want to rock the boat. You'd rather keep peace in your family rather than tell somebody that they're immoral. And that makes largely the person who stays silent a bad person. That's what it makes them. How many people have ever tried getting up in the face of a family member and saying, because you support government, you're a bad person? That makes you a bad person. That makes you a person who supports violence and slavery. How many people have ever done it? Hardly any. How many people have ever gotten up and said, if you support the censorship that's going on all these media platforms, it makes you a bad human being? If you work for YouTube right now, if you work for Twitter, if you work for any of these other big tech companies like Google or Apple, you're a bad human being. It makes you a bad human being to do that job. It's wrong livelihood. These companies shouldn't even be running because nobody should be there attending to them. They should already have quit their fucking jobs. But no, they'll take all that blood money. They'll take all of that pedophile protecting money. You're trash pedophile protectors, you scumbag fucking Nazi trash. You and your fucking family members are Nazi trash. And you always have been. And yeah, you want to say they're communist trash? Sure, they're communist trash too. It really makes no difference if you understand they both stem from the same occult traditions. Okay? And again, I need to be working on presentations really instead of even doing shows like this, folks. Because I need to work on telling people what the real common roots of the right and left are. The far left and the far right share common roots. They're all connected to the same bird of prey. Doesn't make a difference whether it's totalitarian Nazism. It doesn't make a difference whether it's totalitarian communism. It's all totalitarianism trash is what it is. It's all the same trash people, all the same trash mentality, trash ideology, trash behavior. And that's all you're a part of, you scumbag Nazis at YouTube. We don't need you, losers. You're fucking scumbag, unloved, unlovable, unloving losers. You're fucking losers. You fucking losers. That's what you are, loser. No one loves you, loser. That's what you are. You're an unloved fucking loser. Pachai at Google, you fucking unloved, unlovable, unloving loser. That's what you are. It doesn't matter how much money's in your bank account, you fucking loser. You're a fucking immoral, trash, scumbag fucking loser, little boy. You're not a fucking man. You're a little fucking unloved boy who has no love in his life. You're a piece of fucking dirt. You're trash. You're Nazi fucking scum. That's all anybody who works for you are. Because you're a censoring fucking Nazi, you dirtbag. I don't give a fuck what you do. You won't stop me, scum. Do you understand that? That's coming from a real man who's free. I may be living under the conditions of slavery, but I'm free. You don't own me, fuckhead, boy. That's the anger every American should be displaying at this point with what's going on in this life. And then people want to say the problem's with me because I'm angry. No, the problem's with you, you broken soul that can't become angry. You're a broken soul. That's what you are. A broken soul. And I'm not going to take it easy on you. It's going to get more and more hardcore. You want to get depressed about it? Get fucking depressed about it. Okay? Yeah, it still means you're inactive. You're doing nothing. Get depressed about it all you want. I'm depressed too. I'm still up here doing something and I'm saying I'm talking the real shit. Unlike what you're doing, which is nothing, or you're complaining. You're wasting your energy complaining about what somebody else is doing. Instead of what you're not doing. Scumbags. That's what you are. All the people who want to complain about anybody's work. Oh, what did Jordan Maxwell do last week? I don't like what he did. You're doing nothing, you piece of fucking dirt. You have no room or right to talk. You're flapping your gums and liquid shit comes out. That's all it is. Here you go. Go back to the slides. Yeah, we're going to do this every week. There you go. I don't like what this researcher did. I was looking on my Slab and I saw this researcher and what he was saying. And, I don't agree, and therefore I think that he should do something different. But if you look my name up, though, there's nothing up there. There's absolutely nothing on any search engine with my name on it, because I sit on my ass on my living room sofa with my Slab up my ass, and I don't do anything. Occasionally I pull my Slab out from up my ass, and I swipe around, I do some love swipes on my Slab, and then I complain about what other researchers do. Yeah, that's going to change the world. You dumb bag of shit. That's what people are. That's what people are. Really, that's what the whole world is. That's the world, folks. Instead of people getting on different media platforms and doing something themselves, that's what they're doing, is complaining about other people and not ever acknowledging what they're not doing. They're keyboard warriors. They're Slab warriors, flopping around on the slab, on the black slab, but never actually doing any real work of their own. You look up their name, they give you some bullshit, clown shoes, so-called criticism. It isn't even criticism, it's nonsense, okay? And they waste their energy to do that, right? They could be writing a blog, they could be making a video, they could be making a podcast, but no, they want to waste their energy flapping their fucking shit for brains out on the keyboard, okay? And then saying, you should do it this way, you should stop doing this. Instead of pointing the finger at themselves and asking the question, what the fuck have you done? Put your own name into a search engine, you little fucking child. Put your own name into a search engine, you low-life loser fucking child. And then see what comes back. You know what comes back? Here's what comes back. You know what the search engine returns to you? It doesn't return any text. It doesn't return any graphics. No pictures, no photos, no videos. Here's what the search engine returns when you put your name into it. You hear that? That's when you Google your own name or you DuckDuckGo your own name. Here's what it says. That's it. That's what you get back from any search engine you put your own name into. You get a big fucking clown horn for the bobo that you are. That's it. And folks, people go, oh, your show's a lot of ranting and a lot less information. Yeah, you're right. I'm not going to put as much effort into talking to bobos until you start getting active and putting the information out there. Why should I bust my ass? Huh? I'll reply with as much ego as you guys do. Mark, I don't like what you're saying. I don't like your show. I don't like your attitude on this, that, the other thing. You're not doing a fucking thing, you fucking loser. I'll just keep coming on the air calling you a fucking loser because that's what you are. All the people who have done nothing, you're a fucking loser. Loser. Shut the fucking show off and go do something. Okay? You've done nothing. Nothing. The vast majority of you have done nothing. You're watchers. You're passive watchers. That's all you are. Passive listeners and passive watchers. And you've done absolutely nothing to advance the effort of helping people to develop an understanding of natural law. Because if you had, the world wouldn't be like this. The world would not be the way that it is if you did your work. You're the fucking trash losers, not me. I've done an unimaginable amount of work since day one. You want to hear me in my calmer times? Go back and listen to the podcast in order, fuckhead. Okay? Don't tell me what I need to do. I've done more than what I've ever needed to do. Loser. And you've done nothing, and the proof is, put your own name in a fucking search engine, you fucking loser. That's it. And this is what you get back. That's what you get back. Okay? Because you're a fucking clown. You're a fucking bobo. And you've done nothing with your life except complain about what people who are doing something have done because you're a do-nothing. You're a low-life fucking do-nothing. And I'm talking to a lot of my viewers out there. Okay? You think I'm not real? You think I care about? Like I said, I'll burn this whole fucking thing to the ground week after week, and I'll get less and less views week after week, and I don't give a fuck because it's still true. And that's all I care about, is what's true. And I'm going to speak it. Do you hear me? I'm going to speak it. Nobody else will do that. You will never, ever hear any living human soul do what I just did to their own viewership. You'll never hear one other soul on earth do it because they don't have the balls to do it because they're worried about view counts and monetization. That's all they're worried about. And all I'm worried about here is getting people up off their lazy fucking asses and getting them engaged in the battle for truth. That's it. That's what this show is about. And that's why I'm leaving, not leaving the YouTube platform. I'll still post things there, but it's going to be an ancillary platform like Bradeon or something like that. You know, I'm not going to be relying on it for my own website. Okay? I will post things. Yeah. And my producer's getting my attention. He's like, this is part of the overall solution. Stop depending on people who are actively on the other side of the war to help your effort. It's useless. They're not here to help you. They're here to stop you. We need to use other solutions that are already created and engage in them. LBRY is a big part of that. Back to the slides. Next week on the show, my special guest is going to be Nathan Reynolds. Nathan Reynolds is a former Satanist of the Reynolds bloodline. He wrote a book called Snatched from the Flames, which is available online in print and audiobook edition. And I'm going to be interviewing him about his involvement in a satanic bloodline connected family, the Reynolds family of Reynolds wrap fame. Yes, the family that created Reynolds wrap, the aluminum foil, and again there are other products like plastic wrap, etc. The whole Reynolds line of products. He is from that family, and they are a satanic bloodline. Fritz Springmeier has mentioned the Reynolds family in a lot of his work, and we're going to have a member of this bloodline satanic family on the show next week to talk about his experiences in the dark occult. I would like to bring more former Satanists on the show to start corroborating what I've been saying for the past 13 years. I'm going to have Jay Parker on the show again soon. I'm actually going to be on his show very soon. We talked about it about a week ago. I'm going to get in touch with him and find out when we're going to do that. I'm actually going to be interviewed this Monday as well by Crow 777. I'll be on the Crow 777 live stream on Monday. So that'll be coming up this week. Next Sunday, Nathan Reynolds, right here on What on Earth is Happening. Should be a very interesting interview. Looking forward to it. All right, for the duration of the show, I'm going to be answering email questions and taking your calls via Discord in the second part. So if you want to join in and call into the show, the link is whatonearthishappening.com/Discord. You could use the Discord program. I highly recommend the program instead of doing it in a web browser. Okay, that you could get the Discord app at discord.com/app, or it might even be discordapp.com, something like that. But anyway, just type in Discord app and you'll go to the download page and get it. And it's easy to install and use. Okay, the link to join us, whatonearthishappening.com/Discord. If you want to email your questions instead, we'll be continuing to take your questions in the order that they were received. Send your question to questions@whatonearthishappening.com. That's questions@whatonearthishappening.com. I'm going to be doing some rapid fire answers to some email questions. Let's look at a couple of quick memes. Lysander Spooner, who wrote The Constitution of No Authority, said, "The principle that the majority have a right to rule the minority practically resolves all government into a mere contest between two bodies of men as to which of them shall be masters and which of them slaves. A contest that, however bloody, can, in the nature of things, never be finally closed so long as man refuses to be a slave." That's right. He told the ruling class in his day, "I'm not your fucking slave," and I'm telling the ruling class in my day, "I'm not your fucking slave. And I'll be willing to die or kill to prove it." You hear that? You know, we got to get into the Thelemic tradition on What on Earth is Happening. We got to recover Rosicrucianism. We have to recover things like Freemasonry and Kabbalah and the Tarot. But really, I want to get more deeply into Rosicrucianism, and I want to get deeply into Theosophy, and I want to get deeply into Thelema. Those three traditions. We've covered some of the other ones in some depth, but I really have to talk more about Theosophy, Rosicrucianism, and Thelema on this show, especially Thelema. Okay? And, really talk about how Thelema, more than any other occult tradition, incorporates the right of self-defense, the principle of self-defense. Okay? And this says it right here. however bloody in the nature of things, will never be closed as long as there's anybody who says, I'm not your slave. Amen to that. But what do we have today? We have a culture that largely is capitulating to slavery. I don't know who needs to hear this, but it wasn't the government that destroyed your, quote, freedoms. It was you complying with tyranny. Absolutely. And this goes out to all the dumb fucking mask wearers out there. You fucking bobos. You know, to the mask wearers, here's what you sound like when you walk down the street. There you go. That's the auric field that literally pours off of you as you walk down the street. Bobos. Okay? You're given a master class in the Bobo universe. That's all I can say. You know? And you're complying with tyranny. You're willful slaves. Willful slaves. The best way that I could even put it. Great meme that I found on social media. Society is splitting in two. People who are driven by fear, who want to be ruled over, and people who are driven by love and want to be free. All you imbeciles out there who say, I'm not speaking out of love, it's just what you are. You're a bobo imbecile. No, this is what the voice of love sounds like, folks. You want to say I spout hate? No, I spout intolerance to ignorance. And that's love. That's based in true love. You know, love isn't what you think it is. It's not some romantic, pukey, soft, nonsense. Okay? That's Hollywood definition of love that you've bought into about what love is. Love is hardcore. Love is in your face. Love is saying, no, you will not continue to act immorally and I will stay silent about it. I'll give you the tough love. I'll give you the real shit. That's what love is. And sometimes love comes in the form of saying, I love you at a soul level, but you can't physically stay here anymore. That's what the American Revolution was. The American Revolution was taking people out of life. But guess what? It was love. It was done in love. How many people would dare to say the American Revolution was an act of hatred and violence? No, you're incorrect. No, you don't understand spirituality. No, the problem lies in your inaccurate understanding. The American Revolution was an act of love. It was an act of truth and love. And you don't understand that, Bobo. That's your lack of understanding. Because you think love is some soft bullshit that'll let itself get taken by evil. No, that's not what love is. Love is standing firmly in truth and defending it. That's what love is. Okay? It's saying what is accurate, what is real, what is true, what is moral. And saying you're not going to destroy that, even if it comes down to that we have to physically do battle. You don't want to change at a soul level, at a spiritual level, then maybe it does have to come down to physical battle. And that time is coming. That time is coming. So that's all the slides I have. I'm going to go to questions and clarifications now. If you want to buy hard copies, not buy, but donate for hard copies of my items, such as flash drives, DVDs, t-shirts, keychains, buttons, stickers. We're going to have some new coasters in soon. We're trying to get an order put in, but we've been finding it difficult. I really want to get this order put in because I really want to have some cool drink coasters on the site. The last ones that we did were cork-based. We're going to have some nice burnt wood ones next, and I think they're going to be good. Really nice, aesthetically well done items. But anyway, all of these donation gifts can be found at gifts.whatonearthishappening.com. And folks, let me just go back to that. Please, if you're visiting Gifts, we have a thing that you can read there about how the cart works, how it's not your traditional shopping cart, because we don't use commerce here at What on Earth is Happening. We only accept personal donations. So there is no commerce account. We don't have a merchant account here, okay? You won't be engaging in commerce or buying anything. You make a donation and then we give you a gift in return for your personal donation to our cause. That's it. So read the red link. Click here and read first before using this gift site. We ask you nicely on this site, do not abandon the cart. If you're going to put items in the cart, you could fill it to your heart's content, put items in, put them out. Just don't hit checkout till you're absolutely ready to donate, and don't leave it. Donate when you hit checkout, please. Just do it that way. We are asking you to do it that way. If you hit the checkout button, donate immediately. Don't wait. Don't do it later that day. Don't do it the next day. Donate when you hit the checkout button, or don't hit the checkout button. It's not that hard, folks. This isn't your regular shopping cart. We don't have a merchant account. I'm asking you, please, to use the cart as we intend it to be used. That's all. It's different than any other page you've ever gone to. Gifts is not a shopping cart. Gifts is not a merchant-connected website. It's not an online store. It's a place where you can make a donation to the What on Earth is Happening cause, and then we will send you the gifts that you choose. That's it, in return for your donation to our effort. That's what gifts is. Okay? So please, understand how it works before using it, and then please, respectfully, respect what we ask, and just hit the checkout button only when you're ready to make a donation. It's not that hard. The new Ark offer is available at whatonearthishappening.com/Ark. I'll have to make a new graphic because it is now a 2 terabyte drive. I'll make a new screen capture. Okay? We talked about that earlier. And if you want to make a straight donation to What on Earth is Happening, whatonearthishappening.com/donate. 11 ways to make a donation: cryptocurrency, PayPal, Patreon, our Amazon wish list for technology, and more. Okay? whatonearthishappening.com/donate. All right, that's all of the slides. I'm going to jump out of here. You can go back to me, and let's start with some questions. I'll go to Discord in a little bit. Here we go. Okay. After so I'm not going to tell people. I'm not going to give names for anonymity. Okay, I'll say names on the Discord channel, but for email purposes, I won't. So here's an email from a viewer. After realizing the bigger picture with some help from you, I put together the darkness in my own family, and it's all based in Freemasonry to this person. My mother had me at 14 to get emancipated by the courts and escape her pedophile father, a Freemason who had and continues to molest 13 kids. Then last year, I learned that my stepdad's father is a 32nd degree Freemason from the same lodge. Then when we look at government, we find Freemasons and secret societies behind them all. If the love of money is the root of all evil and money means one eye, wouldn't it just be wise and proper move for us to abandon the dollar as well as the government and band together and extinguish all secret societies with ties to the public? Okay, so my answer to that is, well, of course, I think going away from money is a good thing, and transitioning to that through barter systems and cryptocurrency and precious metals is one way of doing it, slowly over time, and reducing your dependence on fiat currency and the Federal Reserve System. We talked about that here on What on Earth is Happening. And yes, I do stand against secret societies. I think secret societies are a problem. I think they allow people to do criminal activity in secret and perpetuate criminal activity. So I'm not a fan of the lodge system of Freemasonry and secret societies in general. But to say that all of Freemasonry is the problem is not accurate. And again, folks, I just want to say, based on almost all the questions that we've gotten so far, I can tell almost, I'm going to say the vast majority of the viewership of What on Earth is Happening and the vast majority of people who ask questions or request clarification for any topic, okay, have not listened to every single podcast. And that's part of the problem. And you have people who are just in total hubris saying, what do I need to listen to all this guy's material? I can understand what he's saying. No, you can't. You think you can, but you can't. That's your ego talking. You don't know what I've covered in What on Earth is Happening if you haven't listened to all of the material. You think you might, you think you do, but you don't. Ego tripping person. You're ego tripping. Okay? You don't know what I've covered here. And let me tell you something. The vast amount of information I have covered here is absolutely nothing compared to what I've taken in, what I know, what I've studied, what's on the Ark, and let alone what's in my personal archive here in this building. Okay? You don't know. You don't know. Okay? You think you know, and it's hubris on your part to even say that you presume that you know it. All right? You don't know. I can tell when somebody hasn't been through the material. I can tell right away. Look, if you're a high-level teacher of something and then someone starts spouting something and it's something you've talked about almost endlessly, or if you have that knowledge, so much of the knowledge, and you hear where they're going with something, you could almost immediately gauge where their knowledge base is at. It's not that hard. If a calculus teacher starts hearing someone spout utter bullshit, oh, what differential equations are actually about is about the pressure in a water-based system. It has nothing to do with actual calculations in higher level mathematics. It's like you're gauging pressure in a system where there's an enclosed space and you're pumping water into it. And yeah, that's what differential equations, that's what they are. You know? No, that's not what they are. It's something altogether different. Oh, yeah, differential equations are, yeah, how do you cut wire and not get electrocuted? What protection equipment do you have to have? I just looked that up on my Slab, and my Slab told me that that's what differential equations are. No, that's not what it is. And a mathematician will immediately tell you you're wrong and immediately be able to tell you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. This is what I encounter all day, every day. I've deeply studied all of these things, and I can immediately tell when somebody has half-ass knowledge. Especially because I've covered it here on What on Earth is Happening so many fucking times you could puke. And look, I'm not saying this to try to beat somebody up. You're getting it wrong. I'm trying to explain to you how much people ignore the suggestion of going back to number one and listening in order. It's not that fucking hard to do, and then you'll get it all. Then you'll have no gaps in your knowledge. You'll understand. And you won't have to write questions that have been answered already. You will not have to actually generally waste your time and energy. And I'm not saying it's a waste of time. I asked for questions and clarifications. What I'm saying is 99% of these questions are things we've already covered. It's things that have already been answered. If you would go back and do the work, you would get the answer. But you don't want to do the work. And secondly, I'm going to say it nastily. I'm going to say it brutally. I'm done talking. I'm done telling people I want to excuse their ignorance for not knowing already. If you understood what Freemasonry was at this point, you wouldn't have this worldview now. You wouldn't think it's all about Freemasonry. It's not all about Freemasonry. It's all about dark occultism and dark Freemasonry. Okay, dark masonry, as I have called it, is a part of dark occultism, which I've explained so many fucking times I can't count. We've talked about how every tradition has a good side and a bad side, a dark side and a light side. Freemasonry is no different. There is positive Freemasonry that allegorically and symbolically explains morality to people and natural law. And if people understood real Freemasonry, they would understand everything there is to know about freedom and natural law and morality. Absolutely. That's how powerful and positive of a tradition Freemasonry actually is in its undiluted esoteric state. Yes, that's true. If you don't think so, you're wrong. It's not a matter of opinion. It's a matter of fact. It's objectively true what I just said. It's also objectively true that the lodge system has perverted the esoteric teachings of ancient Freemasonry over the ages. And it absolutely is a perverted and corrupted system, which is why I don't take part in it and why I don't suggest that anybody else take part in it. There's a lot of bags of trash in the Freemasonic lodges today. There are some good people left in it, but they're fewer and farther between, and most of the people who take part in the Freemasonic lodge system today are immoral trash. The vast majority of you guys, you're immoral trash. You're not teaching Freemasonry. You're scumbags perverting true Freemasonry for money. That's what most of you are. Not all of you. It's not a blanket statement. I'll tell you when I'm making a blanket statement. That's not a blanket statement, but it's largely true. It's overwhelmingly, as a matter of fact, the case. Okay? But there are still some good people left in the Freemasonic lodge systems, but there's not many. They're fewer and farther between, scattered to the winds of the earth. Okay, most of you guys are there to network. You're perverting the lodge system. You're looking for business partnerships. You don't give a fuck about what's right or wrong. You don't know what's right and wrong, first of all. That's why you're stuck at the lower degrees. And you've never really moved up to any of the illuminated degrees of Freemasonry. Because you don't know what it really is and you think you do. And you're wrong about what it is. You're completely incorrect. Because if most of you figured it out, you'd have nothing to do with anything government related. You would understand government is slavery and you wouldn't condone it or accept it. Freemasonry has always tried to be telling people that there's such a thing as objective morality and man cannot make laws. That law is made by the creator of the universe or God or the grand architect of the universe. Okay? And most Freemasons do not understand that and think that man can still be a law creator, still be the lawmaker, usurping the place of the grand architect. No, you're fake-ass Freemasons. You're Freemasons in name only, and you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, little boys. That's what you are. Okay? And I've said it nicely before, but nice saying things to other people, Mark Passio, is long gone because nice saying things to people, Mark Passio, hasn't been listened to. You've just closed your fucking ears. You've put your fingers in your ears and you go, I'm not going to listen to that because I think I know better because it's coming from a guy saying it real nice. Well, then I'm going to call you a dumb bag of shit. I'm putting my fingers in my ears because I don't want to hear another fucking word you have to say, ignoramus. That's how it's going to work with me. Trust me. Trust me. You want to come at me with more ego, I'll come back at you with the most ego you've ever seen. Two can play at that game. Thank you. Really need it too. Appreciate that. Here's the other thing. I'm going to keep hammering and harping on this. All you fucking imbeciles out there still saying, I don't know what I'm talking about because I eat a vegan diet, I eat a plant-based diet. No, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, ego-driven scumbag fuckface. You're wrong. Other beings' lives don't belong to you, fuckhead. That's all it comes down to. And you're wrong. We can get all the nutrients that we need from a plant-based diet. There's plenty of people who are living proof of it and who are way stronger than they've ever been before eating meat. You want to find out? Find out. Find out. You'll come at me and you'll find out how strong I am eating a plant-based diet. Okay? You'll find out. I'll hit you with some ego like that. Trust me, you don't understand who the king of ego is. I'll show you the fucking king of ego in the physical domain. That's still a fucking person who's spiritually enlightened. Because I'll take out all those tools, but they won't rule me. I'll take them out when I have to. And use them. That's the difference about being a complete person versus being a half-assed person. Who's either all logical left brain or all woo-woo right brain. No, my ego is still here. It's not destroyed or it's not killed. It's here and I'll engage in it when I have to, when I need to, when I want to. And I can put that tool down and be selfless if I need to. It's called being complete and having all of it, not just some of it. I can use laser-like focused logic and I can use heuristic whole picture thinking because both sides of my brain are active and in use. Unlike most dumbasses out there. And no, you're wrong. And I'm not going to make it the big issue here, but you are wrong. All the people who say it's just fine to go and kill other animals and say, I could just use them as I see fit. You're wrong. And no, it doesn't mean that you get weak when you eat a vegan diet. You get weak when you do it wrong. You get weak when you do it all at once. When you transition away from anything all at once, you're going to upset a balance that's already existing, pre-existing balance in your body. Who said go vegan overnight? I never said it. Go back in my archives. You'll never find it because I never said it. Dumbass. That doesn't mean that it's moral to consume flesh. You're wrong. It isn't. And it isn't about health. Everyone can eat a plant-based diet if they transition to one. Let me say that again. Every human being can eat a plant-only based diet if they transition to one. If you want to go cold turkey and try to do that, you're going to fail miserably. You have to transition over a long period of time to a plant-based diet if you're already a carnivore. If you're already engaged in carnism, you will not be able to transition to a plant-based diet successfully cold turkey. It doesn't work like that. For the people who have done that, you're extraordinarily lucky and you're the extraordinary exception to the rule. It's not the rule that it works like that. Okay? So all of you guys say, oh, it could be done overnight. No, you're just as equally bags of fucking retardation. No, it can't. For 99.9999% of human beings, if you go cold turkey to veganism from carnism, you will fail and you will harm your body. See, that's why What on Earth is Happening goes deep into the knowledge and takes a common sense approach, unlike all these people who are way into the left brain or way into the right brain. Either you're all into meat belongs to me because we have dominion over the earth and I can do whatever I want, or you can go vegan cold turkey and everybody can do that. It's all nonsense and woo-woo bullshit. Whether it comes from one side of the brain or the other, you're still spouting out the same liquid diarrhea out of your shithole that you speak from. Okay? So look, folks, again, look, the reason I'm so harsh on people is that you all should know better by this point. You all should know better by this point. At some point, a teacher has to say, what the fuck have you been looking at? What have you been doing with your time? You're deplorable. It's unacceptable. What good is a teacher telling people, oh, it's okay, it doesn't matter how long it takes you? No, it does matter. It matters. You're not doing well. You're failing miserably. That's what a real teacher should tell a fucktard student. You're failing miserably at your understanding. And you're going to flunk the fucking class. And when you flunk the fucking class, the whole world's going into the shitter. And that's your responsibility to do something about it. Get better at your studies. That's what a responsible teacher has to fucking say to a fucking ignoramus student sometimes. I'm not the problem. I'm the real deal. If anything, you guys who have stayed silent are the problem. You're the problem. And you should feel ashamed of yourself, and you should get the fuck up off your lazy ass and change it by an act of your will. There's no easy answer. It's hard fucking work. Start it. And you're waiting to hear some magic on how to do it. There is no magic. It's nose to the grindstone, hard blood, sweat, and tears, motherfucker. Anybody telling you otherwise is trying to blow smoke up your ass. Don't do that, other people. Don't blow smoke up people's ass and tell them it's easy. It's hard fucking work, but it means get to work anyway. Accept it, get the fuck over it, and get to work. See, I say it's going to be rapid fire, and then I go off on tangents. Once injections become mandatory, what's the best way to resist authority figures? With semi-automatic battle rifles. That's the best way. The best way is to do it now by getting involved in the great work and teaching people morality so it doesn't come to that. But guess what? Once it does come to that, the answer is, the question was, once injections become mandatory, what is the best way to resist authority figures? With semi-automatic battle rifles is the answer. So you better stock up and you better get enough ammunition and arm the fuck up. That's the answer. Whether anybody wants to like the answer to that question or not, that's the truth. And in America, we ain't going to have a problem. You want to bring it to that? That's what's going to fucking happen. And that's not a threat. It's a guarantee, definitively, of a future timeline that you're going to create. That's what it is. I'm not threatening anybody. I'm telling you what's going to happen. Definitively, that you yourself will create that eventuality. All the police out there, listen up. All the politicians out there, listen up. You're going to create that eventuality among the population. Okay? You guys better understand that. Because it's going to affect you and your family members. And I'd suggest you consider your survival. So, the person who asked this question, once again, once injections become mandatory, what is the best way to resist so-called authority figures? And the answer is with weapons of warfare. That's it. That should be and always should remain in the hands of the population for just such eventualities. That is what the Second Amendment is in place for in the United States, but it is not a constitutional right, it is a natural right. Self-defense with firearms is a natural, inherent right of self-defense in the self-defense principle under natural law, under the laws of the creator of the universe. No man ever made that, and no man or woman can ever take it away. That is a natural, inherent right. And the answer is, when that situation manifests itself, that is what is going to need to be done. I would say we're already in the situation where we should have already physically rebelled. We're already in that situation where physical rebellion not only should have already been put on the table and considered, but it should have been exercised already. We're actually late to the party, folks. And then we're going to be talking about this a lot more on What on Earth is Happening. And once again, the only question you need to ask yourself, all you little fucking fairy pussies who say, oh, how dare can anybody say that? All you need to do is ask yourself, would you even be able to have a free conversation with another human being if it wasn't for the revolutionaries of America? And guess what? That goes for all the other countries in the world who are as free to the extent that they are free, which they're not really, but I said to the extent that you have any freedoms remaining. You can largely thank the ancestors of this country. You can largely thank the ancestors of America. Because we even put that idea out there for the world to consider, that people should be free to lead their own lives and not be the subjects of some psychopathic king. Ask people this question. This is a great aside to this question. What do you do when injections become mandatory? Who has a right to put anything in your body? Ask this. Did any of the kings of the ancient world have the right to do what they did? Did they ever have a right to rule their subjects? Ever. Ever. Did they have a right to make kingly decrees and force people to do it by an act of their will? And say, if you don't do it, I'm going to send my military squad against you, the king's henchmen? Kingship and rulership has never been moral. It's always been based in violence and coercion. It's always been a euphemism for slavery. Kingship, rulership, pharaonic dynasties, it's all slavery. That's all it ever has been. Government is the same thing. You're just taking the power that was once invested in one individual as the supreme authority, and you're divesting it into an oligarchical few and calling them government. It's the same thing. Government is a euphemism for slavery. It's a euphemism for violence, coercion, and slavery. And that's all it ever has been. Kings never had the right to rule. Neither does government. Government has never had the right to make laws and make people obey them, or put them under the duress, which is threat of violence, of doing something harmful and violent to them, their property, or their freedom. The right never existed, and it doesn't exist in any individual, and therefore can never be transferred to another individual. It can never be granted, and it can never be delegated. And you guys still don't understand that this late in the game. How can anybody command what you do with your body? Wearing a mask, injecting something into your body, telling you what food you can or can't eat, telling you what medicine you can or can't take. It's your body. You own it. It's your property because you're not a fucking slave. Nobody can tell you what you must or must not do with your body unless you're actively harming another. Then they have a right because you forfeited your right to remain unharmed. That's called the right of self-defense. If you're not breaking the self-defense principle, then you have the right to be left alone and have nothing coerced or forced upon you. And you have a right to engage in rights which are actions that do not cause harm to another sentient being. You have a right to engage in them without being stopped. I don't understand why this is so difficult to understand. Go back and watch the natural law seminar, folks. Why do they worship Bel? It's an ancient name for the sun. It's an ancient solar cult. All it is a representation of the life force that gives energy to the earth so that plants grow so that we can eat. Okay? And we maintain life. That's why they, quote, worship it. It's a symbol of the sustenance of life through the sun. And once again, watch the presentation I did on this called Demystifying the Occult Part 2, Satanism and the Dark Occult, where I talk about Bel, Baal, Bill, Bull. I don't understand why this is so difficult. I talked about it here on What on Earth is Happening many times, and I've talked about it in a formal presentation. Again, every question I get is something I've already covered. So what I'm trying to get out to you guys out there, listen to me. Listen to what I'm fucking saying. Because apparently you need to clean the shit out of your ears and learn how to listen. Go back to podcast 1 and listen in order. It's all there. Do you understand? Do you understand the words that are leaving my lips? Can you comprehend the English language? Or are you that fucking dumb? Go back into the podcast on the website. Click show number 1. Listen in order. Listen to the whole thing in its entirety. Look at the images and then research the links that are associated with the podcast. Then go to number 2 after you're finished with number 1 and listen to number 2 and do the same process. Then when you're finished with number 2, go to number 3. Can you fucking count? Can you fucking count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like a fucking nursery school child. I mean, I have to be this insulting and hard and harsh. Because people just won't do it. Listen to what I'm saying. All you people who are asking questions, I've already answered almost every question. What you are proving to me and to all of my viewership, you are proving my point. People have not listened from podcast number 1. That's the problem. That's the URL on the screen. whatonearthishappening.com/podcast in order with dashes between the words. That's it. That's all you have to do. It's just so hard to believe that people are this dumb. I need to do harm to my body by putting good plant-based nutrition in it because that's what fucking morons say you're doing. Yeah, you're doing harm to the body by eating the most nutrient-dense foods that you could put in the body, fruits and vegetables, in a semi-liquefied state or in a totally liquid state. And then eat sensibly, a sensible meal consisting of, some raw foods and some good fruits and vegetables at other times. Yeah, doing harm. These people are as dumb as fucking nails, man. And then saying, oh, you're getting good nutrition from animal flesh. No, the only nutrition you're even getting from that is the plants that the animals ate. That's all you're getting. Okay? I've been consuming your work for weeks. I will dedicate a large portion of my life teaching natural law in a formal fashion. Great. My question for you is, masks have been mandated in my province. I live in Quebec, Canada. I have not worn one and will not wear one in any context. People I love and care for are fearful and lack the courage to not comply. What do you recommend for these people? How do they be brave, bold, and not comply to this psyop? Well, once again, how can you instill courage in another being? There is no way to instill courage in another being. They have to instill it in themselves. I think people like that may never stand up. They may go willingly into cattle cars. That's the problem. Some people are only going to ever stand up once that eventuality is presenting itself. You develop courage through knowledge and understanding what you're really up against. Again, that's why people say, what would you want to be able to do? I'd want to be able to take somebody and put them in a room with all the Satanists who run the world. Then you'll know what the world is and you develop the courage practically immediately to stand up. Because you would never want the world turned over to this evil. If you knew it, you guys don't know it. You think you know it, but you don't. Because if you did know it, you'd be active. You'd say, it doesn't matter what I have to do to get the knowledge to become active. I'm going to do what's necessary to get that knowledge, and then I'm going to become active. That's what you would say to yourself if you knew who really ran the world. But most of you don't. You have this vague, hazy idea of what it really is, and you don't know. I definitively know, which is why my will and courage levels are so high. Because there's no way I could not fight against that force. Against that mindset, against that worldview, against that mentality. If you knew what the dark occult was and what they are doing and what they plan on doing, there is no way you'd be making excuses. You'd be on the battlefield already. That's the answer. The answer is they have to fully understand what's really taking place on Earth. And how far away are they from that? They're probably dumb bags of shit. They're a million light years away from that, right? I'm probably absolutely correct. So what is the answer? The answer is they got to get that knowledge in their head first and foremost, or they'll never be able to develop that courage. Courage is a byproduct of knowledge. Real courage. Not bullshit fake courage. Oh, I'm so courageous. I could jump out of an airplane or I could climb a cliff with no safety equipment. No, you're just fucking trying to, prove whose ego is bigger, or whose penis is bigger. No, that's not real courage. That's all ego driven shit. Okay? Real courage is standing up for truth in a time of total deceit, deception, mind control, and tyranny. That's real courage. Real courage are what the revolutionaries of America did when they knew if they failed, they could be hung by the crown. And many of them lost their lives anyway. Because they cared about freedom and their fellow human beings, and they cared about the world. And I'll tell you what, freedom of the whole world's going away, folks, if we don't win this battle. If we don't win this spiritual battle, the freedom of the whole world is going away. The whole world. not just America. So once again, my answer to this is, what do I recommend that you do? You recommend educating them. Because once again, they're probably uneducated, dumb fucks. And then what's the answer? Who needs to educate them? The people who already know what's going on. If you consider yourself one of those people, you better get to work. That's the answer. No one wants to hear that. There's no magic pill to take. There's no courage pill. Okay? Courage is a byproduct of knowledge of truth. To develop it, you have to know what's going on. For real. Yeah, not the answer most people want to hear. Same question, this next person basically asking the same thing. What if your life becomes even more of a living hell? You're on the verge of losing everything, but none of your mainstream media watching family, want to hear it, and they're going to take the vaccines. You know what? Then they're the enemy. They are the enemy at that point. Let me harm my body some more. Hold on. Damn, that's good. Yeah, a lot of harm I'm doing to my body on this broadcast, folks. I mean, fresh fruit smoothie. Jesus Christ. I mean, I might as well just put my neck in a guillotine now. The harm I'm doing to my body. This is how dumb people are, man. I mean, so fucking painfully dumb. It's just, if stupidity were only painful to the person who's as stupid as they are, instead of as painful as it is to people like me, who really do know what's going on, it would be a beautiful place to live. Because, you'd have people in horrifying, abject, torturous pain everywhere. If stupidity were painful to the fucking stupid. I can only wish. Maybe we'll have some kind of a epigenetic transmutation and stupidity will become painful to the person who wields it. Yeah. He says, I'm angry more than anything and disturbed that people really are this stupid. Welcome to the club. Welcome to what on earth is happening. That's it. And once again, whose fault is it? Is it the fault of the media and Satanists? Well, yeah, it's partially their fault for pumping lies out constantly, but these people are watching it. And it's our fault for not breaking that signal, because most of us are not doing the great work of teaching natural law and truth. Let's keep going forward. Why is nobody telling Trump worshippers who see Trump as their savior and Q as their prophet how wrong they are? Believe me, I've been doing that. This whole Q thing is a total psyop, probably CIA invented, if not psyops, a division of the Army, if not Tavistock Institute, take your pick, or work all three working together. It's a stand-down operation to say, oh, they got this. They have it in hand. No. Q don't got it. No. One person don't have it like Trump. Trump is impotent, as a matter of fact. He's basically stood down against all this tyranny and is complying with it, accepting the whole worldview. Trump is a big lie. I watched cautiously to see if he would do anything that's real, like a statesman. Nothing. He hasn't gone after the Federal Reserve. He hasn't stopped geoengineering. He hasn't stopped anything regarding 5G or other harmful technologies. If anything, he's supported all that shit. He's supported GMO food, which is all you want to talk about. What's harmful? GMO food. Okay. He's for all of the big pharma industries, all of the big food industry. Meat, everything. Polluting sources of energy. He talks big on bringing out clean sources of energy, but not really so much doing it, And look what he's done with guns, He's actually been totally anti-gun and anti-gun parts, passing laws that are totally unconstitutional and against people's natural rights. And he's totally bought into this whole bullshit psyop with COVID and endorsed the whole worldview of the mainstream doctors in medicine. That's it. The only thing Trump has done well is said that the mainstream media are phonies and fake news. At least he's done that, and that's about all I can give him credit for doing. The dude doesn't know enough. He's not enlightened enough. Sorry. It's just the way that it is. If you actually had a statesman in that position just taking it to try to educate people, okay, maybe it would do a little bit of good. Not that I would even support or condone that, because I don't support the office of president, because I don't support government, period, or voting for anybody. The whole point is to put your faith in this person or to put your faith in this Q movement. I mean, you got to be so extraordinarily naive, it's just laughable. Okay? Well, again, here's what I really think of Trump and Q. Yeah, let's give him a good one. You guys you're clown shoed. You're clown shoed. It's a stand down operation, folks. That's all it is, and that's all it ever has been. It's to get all the people out there who might have actually done something saying, Q's got this. And that's all it ever has been. And again, it's religion. It's religious. Religious people want to believe a savior's coming to get them out of their own mess that they created and that they allowed to continue. You created this mess. You allowed the public to remain this ignorant by not teaching them right. You created this mess. You propagated and continued this mess. You moved out of major cities because you don't want to tell the fucking lib fucktards that they're wrong and confront them. You moved out of cities because you don't want to educate the young. You moved out of cities because you don't want to do the great work. You're runners. You're cowardly runners. Again, go watch the movie The Kite Runner. The tyrants are going to follow you wherever you go. You're runners. All you people who love, I'm leaving the city because the city's all full of people that, they're liberal and I don't want to live around all these fucking idiots. I'm going to go run. You're the problem. You don't want to stay and morally educate the young. That's why the world's in the fucking retarded condition it's in. Because you're a coward and you're lazy and you don't want to take action. You're selfish and you just want to live your life for yourself. You don't want to engage in service to truth. Don't even look at it as service to others. It's service to truth. You don't want to engage in service to truth. You want to engage in service to self because you're a selfish piece of shit. That's the truth of the matter on most people on the right. Most people on the left, your heart's all tangled up in the wrong place and your emotions are a big clog of shit mess. And you think you reason with your feels, which can't be done. And then you want to be some bleeding heart for every single cause, even no matter how untrue it is. You guys have your heads up your ass in a completely different way because you have no logic and reason. And the right has some logic and reason, but it has really no real heart. No care for truth. To put the truth out there because they care too much about them fucking selves and their own fucking selfish lives to actually get involved. Not all of them, not a blanket statement, but a damn lot of them. Let's move on. I lost my place. Yeah, I'm trying to get back to it. For some reason, my page keeps scrolling up. I'm trying to just keep it in place. Okay, here we go. Is it possible for a soul to ascend like Jesus to a higher plane like the earth that is filled with beings of a higher consciousness? Again, more religion, more let's run away, let's get out. Let's not stay here and confront the problem by an act of our will and courage. Run away! That's what we need. We need the scene in Monty Python's Holy Grail. When the rabbit, get sicked on them and they go, run away. That's what we need. We need to play that, all thinking they're going to the fifth dimension, right? It's the ascension, folks. Don't you know? It's all just another bullshit version of the Christian rapture. That's all it is. The bifurcation, the rapture, all the good people are going to one place, all the bad people are going to another. No, wrong. There's the very real physical world. You're in it. What you do here matters. And if you're not confronting evil and if you're not confronting ignorance, you're not engaged in the spiritual war. The end. That's it. Hardcore truth. Nobody wants to say it just like that. Stop pussyfooting around. Stop waiting for something that's never going to happen. No savior in the government's coming to rescue you. No aliens are coming to rescue us. No ascension is happening. To bifurcate humanity into two distinct groups where one will ascend to an Eden-like plane and the others will stay here and this will degenerate into hell. Reality doesn't work like that, folks. We're all in this together. It's all one world. We're all in it. And what's going to happen is going to happen to everybody. Nobody wants to accept that because that's the harsh fucking reality when you realize how many dumb, ignorant motherfuckers you're all around. You're surrounded by. Yeah. I assure you I am attempting to bring forth heaven on earth in my intentions and actions and have been awake for an embarrassing amount of time. You are noticed by your deeds. Okay, well then put that into action and stop waiting for ascension. Next question. Again, I haven't even read these, folks. I'm just taking them as they come. I want to ask about whether or not a point of view is solipsistic or not. Okay. I was brought up in the Christian tradition and eventually was exposed to a lot of New Age garbage. I'm curious about a belief in the Christian idea found in Matthew 3:15, or turning the other cheek. Once again, folks, I've covered it extensively here on What on Earth is Happening, the concept of turning the other cheek biblically in the New Testament. I've interpreted it a little differently, not taking it literally. In other words, I'm not a pacifist, but after studying the verse, I get a sense that the author wasn't talking about physical violence so much as they were talking about reacting to evil. I disagree on both contentions. I'll give you my take in a moment. Essentially, the way I see it is that if God is to be interpreted as what is and truth, the devil or evil is rooted in a lie or what is not. If one resists evil, they would be acknowledging the lie to be true by action, if that makes any sense. Am I trying too hard to make sense of that or what? Yeah, you are. You're trying way too hard to make sense of it and you're going off course. Is it dangerous to think that way? Yeah, it's dangerous to think that way. Yes, it is. Okay? If I'm wrong, I'd really like to know. You're wrong. That's not what it means. Okay? It doesn't mean don't resist against tyranny and evil because you think that that's just what's not. It's very real. It exists in the world and it's very real and it's all around us. Okay? Turn the other cheek means if you try to give the truth to people and they slap it out of your hands, and if they're people you care about knowing the truth and they're suffering as a result of not knowing it, you keep picking up the gift that they slapped out of your hand and you keep trying to give it back to them to help them to accept it from you. Okay? And again, it took me, almost 20 years of my life to get my own mother to hear what I'm saying. Finally, as a result of all the lockdown shit, sees it. It took that for them to basically take almost all of society away from her and almost all human action away from her, for her to finally say, I see what you've been saying all these years, Mark. I can't believe you didn't go insane telling people this and not having them understand, because I finally see it. And that was only because I kept turning the other cheek. How many knockdown, drag-out battles did we have screaming in each other's faces? Screaming in each other's faces. Get the fuck out of my house. I wish I wouldn't have had you. I think of what you could have become instead of what you are. This is what I heard from my own mother. Now she's saying, I'm proud of what you do. I can't believe people couldn't see this before. I can't believe I couldn't see it before. And you know what? I don't gloat. I don't take pride in it. It's great. She's not all the way awake, obviously. It doesn't know, everything that I understand about this stuff. But she's not battling me at all because she could finally see the tyranny and the control. And guess what? That's a victory. That's a victory. But look at what it took for one person to turn the other cheek that many times. And all the time she slapped that gift of truth right out of my hand as I was offering it. I went on the ground, picked it up, and kept bringing it back and putting it right up in her face and say, you take this. You take this. Take it from my hand and acknowledge what it is. 20 years of work. Yeah, how many people have ever done anything like that? Not a one. Not a fucking one. Comparatively. Figuratively. This is why people's family members are still asleep. They don't hardcore in their face say, this means so much to me. Either you grasp what is going on and you acknowledge the truth that is all around you, or I'm going to disassociate with you as a family member. That's how much it means. How many have ever said that to another family member? How many people have started a confrontation at a holiday dinner over it? A relative handful, maybe some, but guess what, folks? A paltry few comparative to the whole population. Because we don't want to rock the boat. We're cowards. People don't want to say, no, this means whether you're a good person or not to acknowledge this. That's what it means. To acknowledge that the human race is in slavery. That government is slavery. That what's going on with this whole COVID-19 shit is slavery. It's coercion. It's violence. It's slavery. And for people not to understand that philosophically, you're a bad person. That's not virtue signaling. That's objective truth. Okay. So understand that's what turning the other cheek means. Next question. My mother suffers from what you would call right brain imbalance. Communication with her is near impossible. Every subject we discuss devolves into Jesus this and Jesus that. There is almost zero intellectual capability. Speaking philosophically with her is an impossibility. Explaining Jesus as an anarchist fighting the religion of his time goes nowhere. Well, some people's brains are devastated. That's what you have to understand, And sometimes the brain damage is so irreversible that you may never make headway with someone like that. She's decided to help a local politician run for office. She studies in an echo chamber, listening to a handful of mainstream Christian speakers. That person's probably spiritually dead, and you got to let them go. More likely than not. Unless you want to take the chance of physically cutting her off from that by an act of your will and force, because you care about the person to the extent that you know that they're putting poison into their mind. Once again, that could end up being physically dangerous, because if they call the police, you don't know what's going to happen. I actually said this to my own mother. I told you, I'll admit publicly, I brought videos over. I said, we're watching them right now. This is what I'm putting on your television, and you could resist it, but you'll have to physically call the police to throw me out of here because you won't be able to do it with your physical strength. And I said, and if you call the police, you'll watch your son die in front of you. Now, that's hard fucking core. But that's what I did because I care enough about her soul. So, if you're willing to go to that extreme, that's up to you. I can't tell you to do that, but that's what I did in the past. And I hear you. I hear exactly what you're saying. Please share your knowledge of Morgellons disease. Oh, wait, I missed one. What would you do if you were enslaved in court? Mind-free, but physically enslaved. What would Mark say to the masters and masters' dogs? Oh, I'd give him an earful, but at this point, don't even expect me to be taken there. Because I know I've done no wrong. I have done no harm. I harm none. That's it. I stand in the righteousness of natural law and harm none. That's it. So anybody that tries to fucking kidnap me is going to be treated like a kidnapper. That's all I have to say. Because I have done no wrongdoings. I do not initiate harm against my fellow sentient beings, human and animal. Unlike the police, the military, judges, politicians, you are all initiators of harm and violence. You don't stand in righteousness, and you don't have the protection of natural law. You can go and do whatever you're going to do, and guess what? You'll stand accountable for it like we all will. And I'll say that right to your ignorant, selfish, immoral face. Because you're more people that your whore mother raised like a piece of dirt. All of you. Every last one of you. You're ignorant people who think you're good people. And you're not. You're bad people who your trash parents didn't teach morality to. Okay? And guess what? Neither did my family. My family didn't teach me morality either. But I learned it through an act of my will. I learned it by seeing the harm and evil that you losers do. You're losers. You're loveless losers. Is what you are. You do the things that you do because you're little chicken shit, cowardly punk little bitches that are all worried about, oh, what might happen if this isn't controlled? Like a man or a woman thinks like that. Like a person standing in the courageousness of natural law and righteousness thinks, I'm worried about what's going to happen. We got to set up all these institutions of control. No. Good people don't think like that. They say the bad people better worry about what's going to happen when they try to do something to me. You know? And that's what you've become. You're not a good person. You're a bad person. You don't understand objective morality, and you think you do. And you're wrong. You've bought a lie, and you're acting on the lie, and that makes you a bad person. All of you, every single one of you, all you are doing is either thwarting people from engaging rights that they have, or you are exercising rights that you don't. Let me say that again. Every person in any government institution, the only two things that you do is you are thwarting the rights that other people do have, or you yourself are engaging in behavior that you have no right to take. And you think you're good. Those are the two very definitions of bad people. That's the definition of what it means to be a bad person. Engaging in behaviors you have no right to take and stopping other people from engaging in rights that are theirs to perform. That's the definition of a bad person. And your head is so clogged with fucking brainwashing and shit and wrong ideological ideas that you believe you're the good person and someone like me is the bad person. You have it completely inverted. You have it completely satanically inverted. Because what you are is a Satanist, whether you know it or not, and you're fucking doing the bidding of dark occultists way higher up the food chain than you. You work for the Satanists. I've had this conversation with people in my own family. People in my own family work for government, work for CPS, and they don't understand. They're helping Satanists. The fucking children in CPS are sometimes directed to fucking satanic groups and pedophiles. Not all of them, but guess what? A portion of them go there. Who do you think's running these organizations? Please share, next question. Please share your knowledge about Morgellons disease. Current schools of thought, it is caused by the bacteria responsible for Lyme disease, or caused by the New World Order Black Ops chemtrails in accordance with Clifford Carnicom research. Third hypothesis, in accordance with the Centers for Disease Control, Morgellons is a psychiatric disorder. Patients should be drugged with antipsychotic pharmaceutical medication. 3, throw in the trash dump where it belongs. Throw it in the dross dump where it belongs. Part 3, in accordance with Centers for Disease Control, it's a psychiatric disorder. No way. It's absolutely real. I know someone who had it. Is it caused by a bacteria responsible for Lyme disease? I would say no. I would say this is some type of technology, actually. Possibly some type of nanotech. So I do believe it is some type of black op or bioweapon. And I would recommend people go to Clifford Carnicom research at carnicominstitute.org, because I think he's done a lot of good work with geoengineering and Morgellons. His site has become more about Morgellons than previously it was more about geoengineering. But I think people really should research Morgellons and treat it with natural remedies. And I won't go into that. That's not the purpose of this show today. But, at some point we could probably talk about that. Or if you want to get in touch with me, I could probably put you in touch with my friend who cured it with natural herbs. With a homeopathic solution. I was embarrassed. Okay, next question. I was embarrassed to ask this question and consider myself bollocked. For those who don't know, that's an English expression for, bullocks is basically bullshit, meaning they considered themselves fooled or bullshitted. I should have asked a much more specific question, okay? What is the question? I have watched nearly all your episodes, but all of them once and should have known better. I don't know what they're referring to. They're talking about a former question, I guess. Hello from France. How to stop the satanic cult Q-Anon movement, which is a satanic operation. Why are there so many people who believe in it? Well, once again, people want to believe in the savior complex. See, that takes all the responsibility off the self and what are you going to do? And it gets that person who doesn't want responsibility, like a little brainwashed child, asking the question, what's QAnon going to do? I watch and wait, right? Watching and waiting. You've even heard them say this. Kicking back, watching and waiting, but it doesn't say what they're doing, right? It just says they're waiting to see what Q is going to do next. That's the whole psyop, folks. The whole psyop is to say, ooh, let me log in and see what Q had to say, instead of saying, let me log in and make a new post on my website. On my website, right? No, you're going and watching. It's like another form of television, except it's internet television. You're passively watching what someone else is doing instead of taking part in the battle yourself. And again, most people don't know how to do it. That's why I had my artist draw a rendering of people in a battlefield with, they're in a trench and you see people coming at them over the trench line, and they all have their weapons drawn, their rifles drawn, and then there's two soldiers in the trench and one of them's handing them a battle rifle and the other soldier is going back like this, like, whoa, I don't know how to use that. Well, that's an allegory in an image about what the situation we're in right now. I'm telling you to shoot at the enemy and people are going, I don't know how. I don't know how to do any of this stuff, because you never learned computing. You never learned the modern publishing technology, the modern publishing platform to get the word out to the masses. And that's why we're getting our asses kicked, and that's why so many people easily fell for the QAnon movement. Because they don't know how to publish information themselves, because they're passive observers. And they kick back, they don't create content themselves. Their whole slogan is watching and waiting. And all they do is watch what other people are going to do or are already doing. It's a stand-down operation. Next question. I'm trying to put together a bedroom music project, mostly rock and metal, but I suck at writing lyrics. I was wondering if I could use your words or commentary from your presentations as lyrics. Yeah, sure, go ahead. Once again, folks, the stuff on What on Earth is Happening, I'm not interested in profiting from, okay? I'm not saying you should go and pretend that it's all your material, but if you want to put it in your own video presentations or, comment on it, sample it, go right ahead. It's all out there, open source. I want people to share it. One thing you said that I loved in your Tesla presentation was if if you worship money, expect to live in chains forever. Of course, there's only really two masters that you could have in this world. You could either serve truth, which is serving the true God of creation, or you could serve mammon, which is money. And that's it. And that's why I'll take the risk of offending my viewing audience, because I'm not about money. I don't care if I have 0 listeners, 0 viewers. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not about view counts, and I'm not about my YouTube monetization. I don't care. Next question. Please talk more about the actual reptilians, as in the movie They Live, Arrival, V, The Final Battle, and so on. About these people in a concrete way, not a figurative one. Well, that's not really a question. And if you want to talk about that, you go ahead and make a YouTube channel or a LBRY channel or wherever you want. Go make a video on BitChute, write a book about it. I'm going to do what I want to do here on What on Earth is Happening. I mean, anybody is free to make suggestions, but it's like, I've already talked about that in Cosmic Abandonment. I went into it in Cosmic Abandonment, So I've given my talk. I've done my Cosmic Abandonment presentation, and I've done an extended version on. We had a major computer crash on the computer that streams the show. And we are back up and running. It looks like we're streaming pretty much everywhere we need to be. So, hey, isn't it odd that the only time I've ever had any computer attacks and crashes like that are when I'm talking about things having to do with human origins. It's just a funny thing. But we were talking about, somebody that wants to talk about reptilians and the, non-human entities that may have interacted with human beings in the ancient past, or potentially even still be among us. And, if you want to make a thing about that, go right ahead. I've done a lot of work about it, actually. I'm not, talking about it as in-depth as someone like David Icke has, but I've given my take on it. And I don't know whether I'll be really revisiting that topic too much. Maybe we could do some readings from some of the source material at some point. Like, Book of Enoch, the Eddas, the Upanishads, etc. There's so many, you can go on and on. But again, if that's one of your areas of, interest, then by all means, get involved and do something on it. If you feel like you have some knowledge about it, if not, then go out and make it, your research target. This is what you have to do, folks. All right, let's see. Okay. I understand and respect your commitment and passion that some thin-skinned people take offense or abrasive. I must put it to you, you sometimes seem to speak a little harshly toward people who are fully committed to this stuff in thought, word, and deed. Well, I don't necessarily think that's the case, because quite frankly, if somebody was so involved in this effort, I would know who you are. I would know your name. And I know that could sound like that's hubris. But folks, you have no idea how much stuff I take in and listen to and watch and, go onto people's pages. And if there was somebody out there who's doing a considerable amount of work and making a dent in this, I'd know you by now. Okay? And I don't really think it's the case that I'm being too harsh on people. Look, if there's people out there who have put out a tremendous amount of work, I'm not referring to you. Real simple. There's no reason to take offense. The only people who would take offense are the people who in their own mind know that they've done very little or nothing. So why would anybody... So let me give an example. Let's say Brandon Martin or Nate Cap, or Jonna Esp or Larkin Rose or Derek Brose or Max Egan. People have done a tremendous amount of work in their own rights. Okay? Why would they have to take offense to anything I've said? They don't. because they've done their own work. The only people who will find what I've said, quote, offensive, are people who have done little or nothing. By definition, objectively, how is that not true? If I type somebody's name into a search engine, as a matter of fact, here, let's see if we could do it. Let me do it. I'm not going to publicly embarrass the person, but let me put their own name into a search engine. 9 whopping results. Did it in real time. Big 9. Whoa. Slow down there, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't overwork yourself. You know? Let me put my name in. Same search engine. $142,000 pages returned with my name in double quotes. Okay? Versus 9. Right? That's all I have to say. This is who we're talking about, folks. This is who I'm talking about. So if you're not the person that I'm talking about, no need to take offense. If you are, you're probably automatically already offended. Okay, so let's hear the other things that this person addresses. Here we go. They're fully committed to this stuff in thought, word, and deed, but through no feelings or shortcomings of their own are not able to do the great work at the speed and volume that you are gifted with. I'm not gifted with speed and volume. That's called hard work and sacrificing other things that I want to do in my time. See, I don't think people understand this, folks. I don't think people I think they still don't understand this. If you sit and watch me make a presentation, I don't fly through it. It takes an enormous amount of time. I am sitting at a desk when I would rather be out with friends having fun. I am sitting at a desk breaking my balls doing hard work when I would rather be out watching a movie. I have sacrificed my time to do this. It isn't some inherent gift that I have. Yeah, be it due to your strength and discipline, your inborn gifts, or your life situation. None of which I have in any kind of greatness. I wasn't born into any kind of life situation that you speak of. I wasn't born rich. I wasn't born in a wealthy family. I struggled with money my whole life. Okay? I had to scrounge, and scrape to get even the most basic of computers in the past. Okay? I have no inborn gifts, folks. I have willpower that I worked to develop. I worked to develop it. For somebody who claims to have had a hard path, I ask that you consider a divorced father with 4 children under the age of 10 and 2 jobs. You put yourself in that position, you know? Okay, so then maybe you can't get involved. That's the whole point. People put themselves... The whole idea here, folks, is stop blaming anybody else. You created that circumstance in your life. And secondly, yeah, you can still do it. You can still do it. Do it after you put your children to bed and work for 4 hours at night and get less sleep. Okay, and then have to just power through the day a little tired in the morning. You know, that's what it's called. It's called breaking your fucking ass to get involved. That's what war is. The problem is, the bottom line problem with all of it, folks, is people are just soft. That's it. Let me just say it a little better. They're soft. Okay, for the New Yorkers out there. And you just ask somebody who really knows what that word is said like that, And it's probably one of the worst things another person could ever say about somebody. You're soft. All right? That's it. And it says, sometimes I think you're talking to me when you're saying, if you haven't read or done this, you aren't committed. That's bullshit, bro. Wrong. I am talking about people like this, and you're wrong. And it's not bullshit. It's called do it no matter what your situation is and stop complaining about it. Okay? You haven't done this anywhere near what I've done with the situations that I've had to deal with. And I'll take breaks sometimes, and then that's what you could do. Okay, I got to focus on my children. I got to take a break. It's called get involved and do it. 9 verses 142,000, wrapped in double quotes. Okay? That's all I have to say. And I don't give a fuck. Get as offended as you want. I am talking about people like this. You know, you give me a fucking attitude. How about if I put your fucking name on the air and let's make it really egotistical? Okay? And then you'll be a laughing clown fucking stock when you do fucking actually start. Okay? Look, don't give me fucking shit. I'm out here on the front lines doing this, motherfucker. Then don't fucking do it, and it's your fucking funeral, and you know who else's funeral it is? It's your fucking children's funeral, fuckface. That's whose funeral it is. You don't love your fucking children. You want to make it personal? Let's make it fucking personal. Don't write to me and make something personal, because I'll make it fucking personal. It's your children's funeral, motherfucker. That's whose funeral it is. So don't do it. How about that? Let your fucking children's future and fucking freedom and lives go down the fucking drain. You don't love your fucking children. Giving me shit about fucking time and then giving me shit. You haven't seen what I've done, fuckhead. I ain't taking your shit. Go give somebody else shit. I've done this at a higher level than anybody else on this fucking shitball planet. For somebody else to say, the problem lies with me. Go fuck yourself. Then shut the fucking show off and do nothing and let your children go into bondage, fuckhead. You want to make it personal? I'll make it real fucking personal. People who ain't doing shit, you're letting evil take this world. You're letting people take this, you're letting evil take this world for your fucking children. When people are forced into wars or forced to serve, do they still take on the karma? Yes, they do. There's always a choice. You have the choice to not do it and take whatever consequences there are for not doing it. And not just take those consequences, defend yourself from anybody coming to try to conscript you. If we turned our weapons on the conscriptors instead of each other, then maybe we'd be making progress. Yes, people in warfare still take on the karma of doing what they do. Yes. Unless it's an absolutely righteous war and they're on the right side. And the only righteous war is one for freedom. And the right side is the people who are actually having their freedom oppressed. Not the ones doing the oppression. A warning from Yugoslavia, don't follow what we did. This is a video, so I can't really show it. Well, I can, but I'd have to put it over on this machine. Yeah, he says it's about practical suggestions on how to deal with terrorist organizations like BLM, Antifa, etc. in America. Yeah, again, the best way of dealing with them is not having the rotten communists and trash Nazis in our school system raise our children and put ideas into our children's heads. Some school teacher in Philadelphia just came out with an article saying we shouldn't have parents watch our instruction when we instruct children via Zoom. Yeah, because they know that they're communist trash that are infecting their children's minds with poison, and they don't want parents listening in on it. Folks, you know, in a way, I just have half a mind just to just stop doing this, you know? To just say, fuck this, break all this shit down, close it the fuck up, because the world isn't being helped by this. The world is not being helped by what we do here. A few individuals understand, and that's not good enough. I see the nonsense that is posted online every fucking day. I look at the nonsense outside my door. This is utter paltry shit work that has done largely nothing because of how dumb human beings are and how lazy they are. And you should be ashamed and you should be depressed. We are beaten, past tense. There's really no coming back from where the world is, folks. It's going to degenerate into war. That's what's coming. And you better get ready. So many human lives are going to be lost as a result of what the ignorance of human beings and what we're doing. You have no idea. You're going to shit your pants when you see it start happening. And you're not going to be prepared for it. In a way, I just want to say, just shut the fucking show off. Shut it down. It's botched already and has to be fucking patched because the fucking computer fucking crashed. I don't even feel like talking to the assholes out there anymore. Quite frankly. Doing this work has turned into nothing but bitterness and hatred for me. That's the honest truth. Because I'm dealing with a team of losers. You guys are a team of losers. Not here in person. I know you guys work hard. I'm talking about just generally out there. The whole fucking truth-telling community is a team of fucking losers. And you're not worth my time. You're not worth my effort. You're really not. I'm quitting Discord. No more calls. No calls. Fuck them. I'll read some more email questions till the fucking card comes down. I have the highest regard for your teachings, and you've really helped me train certain elements of my logic and reinforced my mindset. As from a child, I don't even really understand the sentence structure of first principles and objective truth. So he's saying that his former mindset was one of a child, and I've helped him, not reinforce but reinvent his mindset to one of first principles and objective truth. Great. You have also touched upon many subjects which I would not have otherwise looked into or seen the significance of in relationship to the whole, so thank you. There are so many people within the Western population that are order followers or slaves of government and propaganda that it undoubtedly must give them comfort, and they must enjoy being slaves, which is all very sad. Yeah, tell me about it. From the older generation who watch too much mainstream TV to those who are perpetually on welfare enjoying the benefits of free housing and money for no work, which is called taking other people's stolen money that is stolen at the point of weaponry, to patriots who stand by the flag and cheer for war and conquest in foreign lands, or socialists who crave big government and believe the cure to all problems is yet more centralization of power. Amen. That's exactly what the world is. That's what all these pieces of trash think like. They're all trash. Every person you just mentioned is a piece of fucking dirt. A piece of fucking shit. The list goes on and on. The common theme about these people is that they are, for want of a better word, reasonably comfortable or happy, if not occasionally minorly disgruntled. And just like any person or animal who is comfortable, they will go out of their way to maintain or defend their current reasonable, livable situation, particularly if the alternative to this is no government, which means no safety net or free handouts, and would therefore require them to adopt a greater degree of personal action and responsibility to survive or even thrive. 100% true. See, this person gets it. That's exactly it. Nobody's responsible for what you're doing, for your health, for your inaction other than you. That's it. And that's what people want to murder someone for saying. Although it's eternally true in nature. No one is responsible for you. Something very alien to these people, and something which could potentially bring disaster upon their lives, which would be taking away government. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's why I say we shouldn't transition to it. That is what should all go at once. It's a matter of changing perspectives and thinking. That somebody has authority versus it's all been bullshit and there's never been any legitimate authority. That's it. And then everything we've built with this machine called government could go away at once. And yeah, that might hurt people. So be it. It's not us taking it down that would hurt them. It's them putting themselves in that situation. If you go and hang yourself over a cliff with a shitty fucking net and then the fucking net breaks, it's your fucking problem. You put yourself in that situation. No one else did. Don't tell me I'm going to harm somebody by doing that. They harm themselves by accepting something that isn't true. This is compounded by, and I'm not talking about this person, I'm talking about the general person who thinks that way. That, pulling government out, pulling the rug out from people, that would harm a lot of people. No, they put themselves in the position of harm to themselves. That's not me doing that. I didn't create that system. Okay? That is based on violence. It's like saying, oh my God, if you take away the fucking loot that the robber just stole, you're going to fucking take food out of his family's mouth. Oh fucking well. He doesn't deserve it. He never owned it legitimately. Think about that. Well, you take money away from this fucking person who stole it from somebody else, then his family's not going to be able to eat. Yeah, that's right. It's theft. It's stealing from other people. It's what you dumb fucks still haven't understood. This is compounded by an ever-growing number of usually younger people within these groups who are effectively useless at just about everything and are incapable of undertaking the most basic of technical tasks, a fact which they possibly are dimly aware of. Absolutely. Let me tell you something. The millennials are the biggest bags of shit that have ever lived as a generation. You guys are just fucktarded trash. You know, at least your children who see how fucked up your minds and behaviors are a little better than you, Generation Z. Let's see how Generation Alpha, the next generation after Z, is when Generation Z starts having children. But the millennials, you guys are hopeless bags of shit. For a millennial to be any use to society or anybody who thinks clearly about anything, it's utterly amazing. I don't know how you survive the onslaught of fucking vaccine brain damage that the rest of your fucking generation have. You got more vaccines than any other humans in history. That's why your brains are so fucking toasted. My question is, how could we have any chance of a great awakening within the population at large while there's plenty of food and circuses to go around to keep everyone reasonably physically comfortable and entertained? I ask the same question. That's why I think nature has to intervene. We need a cataclysm. And the only problem with that is it will cause enormous suffering and harm to animals. And they don't deserve it. That's the thing that I think has to happen. And the only reason I don't want it to happen is because I don't want to see animal life suffer. But we need a cataclysm to destroy this system. Human beings don't have the will to do it. That's why I don't see cataclysmic events in nature as bad things. Let there be tidal waves, tsunamis, earthquakes, hurricanes, fucking anything that destroys. People are too comfortable and they need to be taken out of their comfort by an act of nature. Let's see some fucking real asteroid impacts, not bullshit imagined ones. From hundreds of feet or, hundreds of even meter wide rocks that'll do some real fucking damage. That's what we really need. And the only thing that pains me to say it is the animal life that would suffer would be unimaginable. But human life needs to suffer like that to change our minds. We don't have the will to change it. We don't have the will to change our own minds. Folks, I'm going to make what on earth is happening more and more and more uncomfortable and painful to watch. Every week. Because you shouldn't be watching this, you should be doing something. Is the plan to awaken or further educate all those who are searching and ready to receive the work already, and have these initiates ready and prepared to distribute the work more widely when the situation changes to one where people at large may be more receptive of an alternative to the current top-down government system? No, it's not waiting for that. It's doing it now on a grassroots level. That's the answer. The plan isn't to wait until we have a lot of people ready to do that. The plan is to every individual who knows what's going on, activate and get on the fucking battlefield and do it. Pretty good commentary and questions in that one. Folks, I'm just in a pissier and pissier and pissier mood all the time. I'm tired. I'm tired of hearing and seeing the fucking ignorance. I turn on any social media, I turn on any blog, any channel, and it's just endless ignorance of people who don't know what's going on. And even the people who have it halfway, then they open their mouth and they expose their ignorance. And then people go, oh, they're just at the beginning of the journey. They're just starting. It's happening. It's just slow. No, this should have been happening for 20 fucking years. There's no excuse for being at the level of dumb, ignorant bags of shit that people are at. 10 years would be sufficient to take this information in. And yeah, I'm hard on the people who are just waking up now. You should have been awake 10 years ago minimum. If you're that hard-headed that it took you until now for something like this to happen, there's something wrong with you. And I don't have confidence that you're going to be able to just get it this late in the game and get on the battlefield and actually do something with that knowledge. Sorry if I'm don't have a lot of confidence and hope, but I don't really have a lot of confidence about it. Let's go, we'll end it manually longer than that. Let's say like 4 minutes after. I think we were down for at least 4 minutes. Yeah. Folks, it's not good. It's not good. Because to tell you the truth, with everything that I know and everything that I have done, I honestly don't want to sit here and make any more in-depth stuff for people. I don't think you deserve it, quite frankly. That's why I'm doing question shows while I'm teaching people actually how to make media themselves. I don't really think you deserve it, quite frankly. There's nothing new anyway, and all these questions that I'm answering, I've already answered. You're not really going to hear me say anything new. That's why you might as well turn it off and get to work yourself. And once again, I don't care. I will beat my ratings into dust. I'll do it. I don't care about YouTube ratings. I'm trying to show you something in the mind and get you motivated to actually get up off your lazy fucking ass. You know? If all these years of fucking making videos and audio and presentations I haven't done it, what the fuck's going to do it? That's why, quite frankly, unless I see a shit ton more fucking people accurately teaching natural law, I mean, don't really expect anything better than what I'm going to give you now on What on Earth is Happening. So shut it the fuck off! That's what you're going to get when you come here. You're going to get screamed at to shut this the fuck off and go do something yourself, you dumb fuck. You lazy fuck. I'd like to ask you a few questions about a video you were talking about ancient aliens. Could you please list your podcast shows you further discuss this topic? No, I won't list them. Go to the fucking podcast page and do a find-in page. Learn how to do a find-in page in your fucking browser. You don't know how to use a web browser enough to do a find-in page and type in cosmic abandonment, then you're hopeless. Learn fucking some minimum shit about technology, people. This is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to blow up on people for what they don't already know. Because you're ignorant. It's all been here. It's all been available unto you and you've ignored it. Just so aggravated. Put it back on my fucking computer. Watch. Okay? If I want to search the word terabyte on this page, okay? All you have to do, hit the magnifying glass, start typing terabyte. There's the word, highlighted in green. You could do that on the podcast page. No, I'm not going to tell you what they are. Go to the fucking podcast page. Hit podcasts. Okay? Search for the word cosmic. Here's the search. Cosmic. There it is. Cosmic judgment. Find the next one. Macrocosmic. Find the next one. Okay? This is microcosmic and macrocosmic. Here's cosmic abandonment. Okay? It's mentioned in this presentation. All right, if you want to go back more, you can go back further. All right, 8 matches on that page. Go down to the next page. Search for the word cosmic. There you go. Cosmic abandonment with all the slides. There you go. How hard is that? You don't know how to use a piece of software. That's your problem. Don't worry about alien backdrop to humanity. Don't worry about human origins. Figure out how to use your web browser first so you can actually do research, right? How about figuring that the fuck out first? I'm just going to be mean to people. Maybe if I just be mean and tell you what a dumb bag of fucking shit you are, maybe you'll feel bad enough about your fucking self to get motivated to fucking learn something. Folks, I might just stop this. I really might, you know? I might just get the fuck off the air because I'm done. I might just give the How to Become the True Media seminar and drop the fucking show. And then just be done with it. I'm very seriously contemplating stopping the What on Earth is Happening show. Because I can't stand human beings anymore. And I'm finished trying to teach the unteachable, because that's what most of you people are. You're the unteachable. You haven't learned a fucking thing. The world hasn't gotten any better. It's gotten infinitely worse because you failed miserably at your fucking task. And I don't really want to sit here screaming at fucking people. I don't want to make new presentations. It's over. Do you get it? An addendum to this person's question. In show 231, you said the Petri dish should be wiped clean. What do you mean? I mean the extermination of the human species. That's what I mean. Like a big fucking comet slamming into this earth and cracking its core. And being done with the evil that's here. That's what I mean. By wiping out the experiment that is humanity. That was an experiment from non-human entities. It's garbage. That's what it is. It's garbage. It's always been garbage. From day one. And that's it. It's always been, there's no starting matter here. There's no prima materia. First matter that you can transmute into gold. There's so little of it, it's not worth doing the effort. It's not worth making the effort. It can't be done because you can't shine shit. You can't shine shit. All you could do is smear it all over the fucking place. And that's what this planet is. I listen to fucking imbeciles say, oh, humanity's so good. We're so good. The humanity's a big bag of fucking garbage. All you gotta look at is what we've made the world into. And then you know what's inside most human beings. Most human beings don't give a fuck about truth. All they care about is money. They're garbage. They always have been. They'll do these fucking jobs of control for money because they're fucking immoral garbage. Fucking people having faith in humanity. The fuck reason has anybody ever had to have faith in this shit race? It's a mongrel shit race. What do you recommend are the essential items to purchase and stock up on in the case there is no awakening? In other words, a Hunger Games society emerges. Again, and he's talking about should they invest in gold and metal and it's like, no, that's not intrinsic value. I've talked about this endlessly on the show. Again, another thing I've covered of what real intrinsic value is and means. I don't know how many times I've gone into it, but it's been a lot. Not just a few times. Again, all it shows me is every question, nobody has listened. You haven't been through the material. I've answered the question. You won't take my advice and go through the material. Intrinsic value is air, water, food, shelter, clothing, guns, ammunition, and real, what you would call medicine and or, herbal supplements, things like that. That's it. It's what your body requires to survive, what you can shelter yourself from the elements from, and what you can protect and defend yourself and the things that you have rightfully acquired with. That's it. That's intrinsic value. You think gold has intrinsic value? When the shit hits the fan, you going to be able to eat that gold? Good luck. What are you going to do? Wipe your ass with it? Wipe your ass with some of your gold coins? You're not going to eat it. You'll be looking for the intrinsic value. Intrinsic value, air that you breathe, water that you drink, food that you eat, supplements and medicine, what you can clothe yourself, shelter yourself, and defend yourself with. That's intrinsic value. If you don't understand that, I don't know what to tell you. Okay? You've bought an incorrect definition of what intrinsic means. And you'll still have the good old ANCAPs out there going, no, gold's intrinsically valuable. Oh, wait a second. Wait, do we have a guest? No, I don't think we do. No, I'm not bringing it back up. I don't even feel like going through it. Yeah, I closed my presentation already. Yeah, the ANCAPs get the slide whistle, folks. Here you go. Here's the ANCAPs. gold and silver have intrinsic value because, when everything hits the fan, I'm going to eat those coins. Yep, that's what you sound like, dumbass. Yeah, you don't even know what the word intrinsic means, out of nature. But keep still thinking that you're awake and you know what's going on. Fucking retards. Been listening to you since your podcast with Jay Parker, not quite the beginning. I do want to ask about William Cooper and John Todd. Cooper was murdered because he called 9/11, among other things. John Todd was ultimately framed for telling the truth as well about spell binding to music and such. My question is, at this point in time, do parents classify this truth with the younger generation? People can't even really make sentences that make sense, folks. I don't know what that means. I have done the great work, but my kids, one of which is 13, is not believing what I am telling her. Probably because she's being brainwashed by the indoctrination system called public school. And she probably has communist professors that are teaching her leftist trash and or outright Nazi fascist trash in the public school system. That's why it's important to homeschool and not allow these poisonous Satanists to infect and poison the minds of our children. I was awake at an early age, especially since my father was a World War II combat vet and told me many truths as I grew older. Just asking for a little advice for the younger kids, which all this chaos is truly going to affect in the future. You're damn right. You're damn right. Your daughter's going to grow up an abject slave. That's what's coming down the pike. That's what's going to happen. Your daughter's going to grow up as a slave. Overt slave. It ain't even going to be covert slavery. So get on the battlefield and do something about it. Start homeschooling your kid. Your child. Homeschool. Get them out of the government indoctrination camp. Most people go, oh no, I can't do that. I have all these other responsibilities. Here's the thing. If you don't take the responsibility to truly get the mind of your children out of the shitter, you don't love them. All right? More and more I'm going to harp on parents, even though I'm not one. Yeah, I have the right to harp on parents, even though I'm not one. You damn well better believe it. That's right. I don't have to have a fucking child to know the right thing to do to bring a child's mind into harmony with the truth. So don't tell me I need to shit out a fucking child like you all of other motherfuckers do to know what needs to be done to get their minds right. You're not going to tell that to me. You're the ones continuing to fuck up your children's minds by putting them in the indoctrination camp, communist indoctrination camp. I'm not doing that. You are. So I can say, not having a child, the answer is buck the fuck up and homeschool your child. That's the answer that nobody wants to hear because you want your time for yourself. Well, guess what? You might not be able to have your time for your fucking self. Nobody wants to hear you have to sacrifice what's your part of your life. You need to willfully sacrifice parts of your life. You don't want to hear that. That's how truth works when you bury yourself deep in a situation like this. To get back into harmony with it, you got to take things away that you want for yourself. And I've done that without having children for other motherfuckers' children. And motherfuckers who have shit kids out of their fucking cunts haven't done that. You want it to get nasty and you want it to get fucking personal? I'll make it real nasty and personal, motherfuckers. This might be the last What on Earth is Happening broadcast. I have to seriously sit back and consider, really, and I've said this before, but I really fucking mean it. You may be listening to the last What on Earth is Happening broadcast. Because I'm done. Your child's going to grow up a slave. They're going to live as a slave and they're going to get the shit raped the fuck out of them by government and military and police because they're going into abject slavery, not just covert slavery. That's what's going to happen to your daughter when she gets older. Because you're doing very little to nothing. And so is everybody else. You're kicking back watching shit instead of trying to affect people in the world. What are the satanic hotspots you mentioned in your Alex Jones interview? Because you mentioned some states, but what places specifically? You named Rose Valley in Pennsylvania. What other places specifically? Well, I haven't been to every satanic hotspot in the United States, but I can tell you Philadelphia certainly is one, okay? Rose Valley, Pennsylvania certainly is one. Arden, Delaware is one. New York City is a huge one, and a lot of the surrounding suburbs. Whitehall, Maryland was one that I've been involved with. Whitehall, Pennsylvania is one that I've been involved with. They seem to like the word Whitehall. Okay, I'm not saying every place in the whole country named Whitehall is satanic, but that was my experience. Okay, and San Francisco is loaded with Satanists, loaded with them. You know, Los Angeles, loaded with Satanists. You know, California in general. I would also say Connecticut is a big satanic hotbed because it's a place where there's tons of mind control centers like Yale University. You know, there's Massachusetts, loaded with Satanists. The Boston area, that's a hotbed because of a Harvard University. You know, Connecticut with all of its financial institutions, absolutely loaded with Satanists. So those are some of the places specifically in the United States. London is an entire satanic center for the world. Rome is an entire satanic center for the world. Large portions of China are satanically controlled. Asian Satanists are hugely active. You know, this goes deep into the Far East. India is another huge place for Satanists in the world. The country of India. With their caste system. It's one of the most satanic things you'll ever find. On a future show, would it be possible for you to link or cite some of the literature regarding important scientific findings? Well, there may not be a future show. But, you know, last week I did link some of that. On the podcast section, switch over to the computer. I posted the book, The Invisible Rainbow by Arthur Furstenberg. You know, you could look up some of those studies. I posted it in EPUB and PDF. And I'll just show you. A lot of people don't even take advantage of this stuff. I don't even know why bother. You know? As a matter of fact, I'm going to announce, I'm taking another hiatus from the show. All right? So maybe I'll continue with the interview of Nathan Reynolds next week. Maybe that'll be the last one. And then I'll take a long hiatus from doing the show, maybe until after the seminar is complete, and then I'll decide whether I want to, after the How to Become the True Media seminar, I'll make a decision whether I want to continue. I told people that this was new incarnation of the show was going to be for about 5 years, but in all honesty, I don't think human beings today deserve it. After what has happened with COVID, I think I'm just going to bow out of this and let what happens happen, and I'll do the great work on my own time, and I'm done with you fucking retards, you know? Because really, you don't deserve any new stuff. You don't deserve any presentations. You don't deserve any of it. I want to just talk from my heart and what I really think about you guys. And I'm talking to my own viewing audience, and I don't give a fuck what you think. I think most of you are lazy trash. Turn the show the fuck off. Fuck you. Okay? I think most of you don't take advantage of what I fucking put up. You don't learn. Most of you have not gotten the Ark drive, and I don't give a fuck whether you do or not. That's on you. It's all your karma. But I think I have to, it's very personal to me. This is personal. All of it's personal. It's all personal. Those who don't see it that way are wrong. This is all personal. Because what you're basically saying is my freedom should be flushed down the toilet with yours. Parents out there who aren't taking it fucking personal. You don't love your children. If you were, If you did love your children, you'd be taking it real fucking personal that other people are flushing their freedom down the toilet. But you don't give a fuck about anybody but yourself. You don't care about your fucking children. So for my health, I think I'm going to step away from all of this. I might do one show next week. I might not even do it. I might just tell Nathan I've stopped the show and I'm sorry, but we'll pick it up another time. But I'm leaning more and more toward this being my last show. I'm going to have to do some serious soul searching and think about it in my downtime this week. Go back to the slide. Go back to the fucking computer. Here at the end of the podcast, I put other links so you can research stuff. You know? So, you know, when I did the show about the blog from Charlie Monroe with his software, you can click that and then it downloads right to your machine. There's his blog. You know? A Day Without Business. See, I do nice things so that people can research it, and they don't even take advantage of it. Most of them don't even know it's there because you're Muslab. It's like the only two words you guys can fucking say. Phone fucking users. Muslab. 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 That's what you guys sound like. Never made a fucking thing in your whole fucking life on a computer. But you're fucking love fondling your fucking slab. So see, last week, yeah. With last week's show 235, you know, you can go here, click Invisible Rainbow. It downloads the EPUB that fast. Boom. Click it. Open it. There's the book. You know, but most of you guys won't read it. You'll just continue to believe the bullshit that you want to believe. You know, so I don't know whether I have any more energy to invest in my own audience, quite frankly. I think I got to step away for a while, folks. You know? Because I've already been alienating my listenership, and good, perfect. Don't fucking watch. Don't go on the YouTube channel. Don't do anything. You know? This isn't about watching me. Because you're fucking yappers, and you're going to get fucking clown shooed. Okay? That's all it is. That's all you guys are. All you know how to do is talk. You don't know how to do a fucking thing because you have no skills. You know how to talk about doing something, but you don't know how to do anything because you're fucking low-life trash yappers with no skills. You're low-life trash yappers with no skills, and I'm done giving you of my energy. Okay? Fuck you all. Okay? That's how it's going to be. When I see more people putting out quality fucking work, I'm done. Maybe I'll come back and chime in on some of it. But you all can go fuck yourselves. How's that for wanting ratings and fucking view counts and fucking, you know, sales in my store? Don't buy anything. Burn the whole fucking thing down, motherfuckers! You'll see what I think of you for real. I'll show you what I really think of all of you. I tell you I had respect for me, but I don't. I would tell you if you were doing something and you were helping to change the fucking world, but 99.99% of you ain't doing shit. You're low-life trash. And you haven't ever heard it from anybody. You're fucking ignorant, know-nothing low-lifes. It's your fault what happened. Your fault. For not getting involved in the battle. Not teaching people morality. We had a chance to turn this world around and you didn't do it. You blew it. You blew it. By sitting and watching and yapping and not actually taking action. And you're still sitting there yapping. You look at what I've done. The endless hours I put into this. I have a right to be this angry. You don't even know what I've done. You don't even know what I've sacrificed. And then you want to give me shit. Go fuck yourself! I watched a movie called The Mandela Effect. The story goes that CERN secretly made the Hadron Collider to open up a portal of some sort. Yeah. Again, I don't really buy into this whole changing of timeline stuff. You know who's changing the timeline? We are, by our own inaction. We're changing the timeline to negative eventualities by our own inaction, by not morally educating our young, by leaving places that we say, oh, this is so fucked up, I don't want to be around these people, and then we run away like little cowardly pussies instead of staying and fighting the hard battle and morally educating people. That's why the world is the way that it is. People emptying out of cities and into suburbs because you're low-life fucking cowardly fucking lazy fucking trash. You don't give a fuck about what's true. You don't care about who's morally educated. All you give a fuck about is yourself and your own fucking comfort, you lowlife. You're a fucking lowlife. Yeah, folks, in case you tell, I'm done doing this. I don't want to do this anymore. And you guys made it like that. You guys made it like that. Not me. Yeah, give me it. Yeah, I'm going to drink a beer on the air because I need one. Because I'm tired of talking to fucking trash that's doing nothing except standing by watching the world burn. Might as well. What the fuck do I have to say that I haven't already said? Yep. Well, here's the burning it all to the ground. Including what on earth is happening. It will not be insulated. All right, next question. Have you noticed the irony that the R complex corresponds to the God the Father, our thoughts originator? Thought is responsible for motor functions, fight or flight, instinctual behaviors. Yet the neocortex corresponds with God the Son, our actions manifestation, although it is responsible for higher order thought functions. Well, you know, you could look at Father as the oldest part of the brain, the R complex, the reptile complex, and then the neocortex is the Son because it is, you know, it's really the, you know, motor response mechanism. The, you know, stimulus response mechanism is the R complex. And then then the mid part of the brain, or the mammalian complex, or the limbic brain, is responsible for our emotions. And then when you put those two together, ultimately, you have higher order thought functions, okay? Not when you put them together, but when they work properly. You develop higher order thought functions of the neocortex when both brain hemispheres are in balance, okay? That's how basic brain functionality works. Basic neuroscience and neurochemistry will, if you study that, will help you to understand that the neocortex will, if it's working in balance, will allow the limbic system and R complex to also work properly. Meaning you will have the right emotional responses and you will do the right behaviors, okay? And you also have self-defense in place in addition to understanding heart-based intelligence of the non-aggression principle. I have inferred my own speculative conclusion on why this is. Ordo abceo, the will of God, no shortcuts, but it would be very much appreciated hearing your take on what the universe is implying with this association, which may seem backwards at first glance. Again, it's not necessarily backwards. God the Father, the Father aspect of the R complex only means that it was there first. Like the God of creation, it has always been. Okay, it just means it's the oldest part of the Triune Brain Complex. The second oldest part, or right in the middle, is the midbrain or limbic system, and then the newest part of the brain is the neocortex, and that's why it's the Son. So you have the R complex masculine father figure that is stimulus response, protection, defense mechanism, etc. fight or flight. And then you have the feminine limbic system, which is responsible for our emotions, what we feel based on what we do to others, which is a, internal aspect of the human being, namely their emotions. That's the feminine. Then both of those together will give rise to the neocortex, or the new part of the brain. It's new. It's the newest evolutionarily, and it's the son of the father and mother. So I think the triune complex holds fairly true, fairly well. If people want to look more into that, they can go back to my earliest podcasts where I talked about it in depth. We're running out of time. We got about 4 to 5 more minutes, about 4 more minutes. Let's keep it rolling. So when I paste this show back together, it'll total 3 hours. Don't know why I should even bother. I've been watching your videos. I'm very interested in what you're saying, but I just can't do it anymore. I tried, but I can't listen to a guy screaming and calling everyone brainless fuckheads for 2 hours. Well, guess what? Shut it the fuck off. Shut it the fuck off, motherfucker. You're one of the people I'm talking about. What have you done? Here's the thing. Instead of writing to me and worrying about what I'm doing, ask yourself, what the fuck have I done? Now, let's put the name in. Let's put it in. Here we go. I'm going to give you the numbers. Let's put it into the search engine. So this person's name, which is actually a slightly more common name, which I won't give, I put it into a search engine, a whopping 90 results. There you go. And not doing anything, there's nothing as far as, websites, there's a Facebook profile, nothing as far as, videos, anything like that. Okay? So once again, the question that you need to be asking yourself, my man, is what the fuck have you done? Okay? You don't want to listen to me scream saying that everybody else hasn't even compared altogether with what I've done. Then shut the fucking show off and go do something. Here's the thing, folks. You know what? You'll get your wish, asshole, because I'll probably just stop doing this because you know what? Nobody else is doing a fucking thing, so why should I? I've already put all the information out there that I need to put out there, and I've done it in a phenomenal way that people can research and learn what's going on in this fucking world, and you know what they've done? They've done this. That's what they've done. That's what they've done. Now, give me another minute. Okay? I haven't, he says, instead of calling me an idiot, inform me. I have. You haven't listened. I told you to go back in the podcast week after week after week. Most people won't do it. You can get the Ark and you can inform yourself. No, I'm not here to inform you. I'm here to put the information out there so that you can inform yourself. Only you can inform you. I can't inform you. I can't make information go into you. Okay? I could put the information out there publicly, and I have. Past tense. That's why I'm so angry. I've taken my life to put the information out there, and do you know what people have done with it? They've squandered it. They haven't taken action based on it, and the world is in the fucked up mess that it's in because most people have just completely ignored it. That's what. And you don't understand that. And you think you do, and you write a big fucking thing complaining about how I'm angry about that I've done this for the last fucking 15 years of my fucking life. What the fuck have you done? There's the question everybody needs to ask that I'm going to leave you guys with. Okay? This might be the last What on Earth is Happening ever, and honestly, it probably is going to be. I'm probably not coming on next week with Nathan Reynolds. If I decide to do that just out of respect, I may just do it. But this is probably the last What on Earth is Happening. Okay? And what all you motherfuckers need to do is ask yourself, what the fuck have I done? That's the question you need to ask yourself. What the fuck have you done? Most of you can't answer that question because you've done nothing. Okay? When you have done something, there's no need to get offended. So there, just like that. This person's all got his panties all bunched up his ass crack. But the reason he does is he hasn't done fucking shit. That's the answer. That's the answer. Okay? And again, I'm talking to all the people who have gone through all the fucking podcasts and have done nothing. If you haven't gone through the podcast, go back. I'm not talking to you. You shouldn't be listening now. This is for all the people who all this information is out there and none of them are fucking putting it out there for other people. You're not fucking propagating the knowledge. So that's the question people need to ask. What have you done? That's what I'm going to leave this episode, and it may very well be the last episode of What on Earth is Happening. What have you done? That's the question. Don't worry about Mark Passio. Mark Passio is going to be just fine based on what I've done. Worry about what the fuck you've done.